any other man. Amen. And that's the word of God. And this morning, I want to share something we've entitled The Source of Your Strength. What is the source of your strength? You may remember the Old Testament story of Samson, the Nazarite, the man who did not cut his hair. Not cutting his hair was part of his Nazarite vow, but it was also the secret of his tremendous physical strength. Samson led the nation of Israel for 20 years, and his enemies, the Philistines, were curious about the source of his strength. When he fell in love with Delilah, the Philistine leader said to her, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength and how we can overpower him so we may tie him up and subdue him." Judges 16, verse 5, the Amplified. Samson refused to tell his secret many times when she asked him about it, but he ultimately gave in to her. After he told her, she shaved his head and his strength disappeared. The strength wasn't in his hair. The strength wasn't in his hair. The hair serves as a covenant of obedience to God. Once he disobeyed, he lost track. You also have a source of strength. It is not in your hair or in any earthly belongings or physical or mental trace. It is Christ alone. Christ alone is our strength. Amen. When you need strength, don't seek it in any worldly source. Ask God to empower you to do whatever you need to do. He will always come through for you. Christ is our strength. He has become our salvation. The Lord is my strength. The Lord is your strength. And this morning, this scripture was brought to you in association with the Maranatha Power Ministry International, located behind the Lekma Polyclinic, Nungwa, Adogono. Don't forget, the Moment of Miracle is coming off today. This and every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So you need to be part of it, and come, let's pray together and seek the face of the Almighty God, the giver of life, and God will meet you at a point of your need. This morning I entreat you as we pray together and say, Father, may I always look to you for the strength I need. May I always look to you for the strength I need, knowing that I will find everything I need in you. In Jesus' name, amen. If you pray this prayer, I invite you for tonight, this morning encounter with God. And God will meet you at the point of your needs. And I want you to come and let's pray together. For God is still in the miracle business. God is still working. Miracle. You need a breakthrough. And I want you to insist on today's productivity. And God blessed them. There's something God blessed them. You read the book of Genesis, the chapter 1, verse 28, and it said, God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Genesis 1:28. And God bless them. Today, I want you to insist on today's productivity. An unproductive day is an unhappy day. You were created to be productive, to accomplish, to multiply. Any progress towards your life dream today should be celebrated. Each hour is an employee. Give it a specific assignment. I said each hour is an employee. Give it a specific assignment. So insist to be productive today. The Bible said in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 28, be fruitful. How fruitful are you? Another thing I want you to put at the back of your mind, that for who has despised the day of small beginning, Zechariah the chapter 4, the verse 10, I want you to this morning to make it a habit to take a tiny step towards your lifetime goal today. Take a tiny step towards your lifetime goal today. Champions are those willing to move forward an inch at a time. Stay in movement today. Break down your goal into many small steps. Progress creates joy. Two things are most important than your money. And I want you to listen and listen well. I said two things. Two things are most important than your money. Your energy and your time. Your energy and your time. Identify time wasters and those who diminish your energy and limit their access to you. Small steps matter. I've given you three things to ponder about this morning, even as you go about, I say, a tiny step towards your life goal and insist on being productive today. Insist on it. Because each hour is an employee. Give it an assignment. Each hour is an employee. So learn to give it an assignment. And when you do that, it's good. And learn to be willing to dream alone sometimes. Sometimes just will to dream alone. Very important. The Bible said, I would never leave thee nor forsake thee. It means the Lord is with us 24/7. Every champion must be willing to believe in his own dream when others seem too busy or uncaring to encourage him. Every great inventor such as Thomas Edison faced waves of ridicule and scorn before their geniuses was recognized and appreciated. Don't forget to keep your focus on where you are going and refuse to be discouraged by the present circumstance. That will soon pass. Aloneness removes the strain of wrong influence. To sometimes learn to dream alone. And that brings us almost 12 minutes past 7 a.m. this morning. And this morning I entreat you to say a little prayer with every heartbeat and know that the Lord is with you. His rod and staff will comfort you, even as he prepares a table before you in the very presence of your enemy. Once you have this at the back of your mind that the Lord is with me, his rod and staff will comfort me. He said in the book of Jeremiah 33, the verse 3, he said, call to me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know. That is why you need to be part of the moment of miracle today at 10 a.m. Be part of it. When you call on him, he will answer you. And that takes us straight into another segment, which is the African Proverbs for today. And joining me in studio, already seated, is Bernard Agbemo Ejudi. Good morning, boss.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very fine, very fine.
Great.
Hope you are too.
Well, I can't complain. Once there's life, there's hope.
Sharp.
Yeah, there's always hope at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
There's always hope. So this year, a lot of things will happen. But you know, kingdom builders give thanks and take responsibility. Builders act, and action is a proof of belief. Decide that for 2026, you become a kingdom builder. As a kingdom builders give thanks and take responsibility. Builders act, And action is a proof of belief. Decide that for 2026, you will become a kingdom builder. I invite you to be part of this morning time as we tarry with God and seek His face. Amen. And that takes us straight into the African Proverbs for this morning before bringing the newspaper review segment of the program. The newspaper review segment. What is on the African Proverbs for today? What is there? Ha 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 ha. Hey, how was your night?
As usual, it was very fine, very peaceful, but short.
Very fine, very peaceful, but short.
Yeah.
Our African Proverbs for this morning is a home without love is like a tree without fruits. And we're in a month of love. Series of things will be happening between now through to Saturday. Val's Day is Saturday, right? It's not a holiday. But if it fell on a good weekend,
Yeah.
Saturday is a good weekend, so you can stoggle it out on a weekend and come back. A home without love is like a tree without fruits. Oh boy, what do you make of this? A home without love is like a tree without fruits.
A tree without fruits, it's almost useless.
So a home without love is almost what?
Yeah, I mean, what is a home without love? Where everybody is living in fear, no affection. People wouldn't want to. I mean, why do people go to trees? To get the fruits.
To get the fruits.
Yes, so if there is no love,
Mundi
people will be running away from you.
Mundi eduaba mfa na hahane.
Na obi so ono yare bi ani no ho na chese ono de adua no onya asomfo so if there are no fruits. Yeah, ntino say uni odo a, people will be running away from you. Yesterday I was thinking about something. I don't know if probably it's because of this African problem. I was like, for everyone who says that nobody loves me, means you yourself, you don't love yourself.
You need to love yourself if nobody loves you.
Yeah,
your self-love is very important.
Yeah.
I mean, if nobody sees you to be handsome or beautiful, look yourself in the mirror and say that I'm so beautiful. I'm wonderfully made. Bible says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And our inner man knows it.
Yeah.
So your inner man should testify of the beauty, on the creativity, the love that God has created you.
Yeah.
The fact that God brought you on this planet, it means that you are an answer to problems.
Yeah.
You have something to give to the world. That is why you are here.
Yeah.
So don't see yourself to be a loser. See yourself to be a victor, not a victim. And that is a key thing you should be working with. So a home without
love
like a tree without fruits.
Yeah. And you too, if you don't love yourself, you are like a tree
without fruits.
Nobody will come to you.
Nobody will come to you.
Yeah.
When you begin to accept yourself, others accept you.
Yeah.
When you begin to look, you don't look down upon people. People will not look down on you.
Yeah.
So do unto others what you want others to do to you. That is the simplicity. This Proverbs highlights the importance of love in home. Just like a tree needs fruits to be considered fruitful, a home needs love to be truly complete. Without love, a home is barren, unfulfilling, just like a tree without fruits. The Proverbs emphasize that love is the foundation of a happy and a harmonious home. It suggests that material wealth and physical structures are not enough to make a home. Love and care are essential ingredients that makes a home. And that's the African Proverb for today, brought to you by the MBN Proverbs Center. And that takes us straight to our next point, which is the newspaper review segment. And I entreat every Tom, Dick, and Harry listening and watching us that you can support any of the segment from the news, sports, weather, the scripture, brought to you courtesy Maranatha Power Ministry International. Don't forget, the Leadership Conference is also coming off from the 17th to the 22nd of February 2026. That's somewhere next week. It's running through 17, 18, 19, 20, 21st, 22nd. 6 days powerful leadership, international leadership conference. But moment like this in the morning, Tuesday, every Tuesday is a moment of miracle, 10 a.m. Join us as we give thanks and praises to God. So you can support any of the segments, the African Proverbs, the newspaper review, and the discussion segments as well. You can buy into it and label it with your products. And that will help you activate and get to where you aspire to be. I hope we've done some well. All right, so let's look at the papers for the morning, and then we go into one major conversation. She was accused of meddling in the by-elections. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, the woman who doubles as the Member of Parliament for Shire, Osudoku, and the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Madam Oklu, Akwele, was accused of just ended by election, primaries by the Ayawaso East. What we're talking with her, and we're trying to fine-tune ourselves. And then you did listen and watch the expose on the Galamsey, the hotline that happened throughout yesterday. Yesterday has become like a running battle with the Galamsey, where DCs, I've said it time and time again, the DCs, the chiefs and the people, the security that we even ask them to go task force the areas are all part of this menace.
Yeah.
They are all part of it. Government change, government coming, their people will do it. They're taking the guardian for granted. Now this man's name has popped up. Are we going to see him sanctioned? Felix Kwachiofosu have told us that nobody will be spared once found culpable. We're waiting to see how the president is going to crack the whip on this matter. Remember the issue that happened with the NIMOS and then the MPs. That matter, where it go day is another thing.
Yeah, that is it.
It's another thing. Where the matter go day now,
the dies off.
Nobody is talking about that matter. But to God and country, Father, help us through and lead us through. Let's do the Spider newspaper. First, the Spider has a story. It's a Bahama orders new envoys to deliver jobs, investment, results under the reset agenda. Yeah, the 5 envoy that were yesterday. So the president has taxed them to deliver jobs, investment, and results under the reset agenda. Children's staff, why booze sells for pocket change. Vaz Ghana speaks. Galamsey scandal exposes state failure. DCE's politicians in crosshairs. Okay. Race for Jubilee House 2028. How Bawumia is plotting to use MPP loyal ladies again. MPP slams government roads minister for the I can't get a word there, but it has to do with something that has to do with blames past failures. So blames past failures. Those are the stories on the Spider newspaper.
So from the Spider, let's do the New Republic. Randy Abe in MPP trap. Cocoa Board in liquidity crisis as payment assurance failed to calm cocoa sector. NDC cracks down on vote buying scandal. Rose Ministry in arrears maze. And the big one, Abutrika fires salvos. These are the stories on the front page on the New Republic.
Now let's do the Daily Searchlight. The Daily Searchlight says NPP endorses Baba Ali Yusuf as parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso East. Vote buying allegations, NDC reform credentials is under the test, Center for. Abutrika Sioux State and FBI. High Court grant bail to Alhaji Seidu Abagri, that's I think it's 100,000 Ghana cedis. Nepotism in Ghana Police Service, IGP accused, with the IGP on the front page of the Daily Searchlight newspaper.
The New Trust. Sunyani Outer Ring Road project threatened by reduced scope of work. Ayawaso East by-election. NPP acclaims Baba Ali Yusuf as parliamentary candidate. KNUST student dies after falling from off-campus hostel. That's a sad one. DMB call center group grateful to NAPO. The big story on the front page of the New Trust. Swami interchange revealed to 3 tiers. Let me read that again. Swami interchange revealed to 3 tiers, not downgraded. Roads Minister clarifies. These are the stories on the New Trust.
If it's 4 tier and you've made it 3 tier,
it's been reviewed.
Hey!
Not downgraded.
You've downgraded it. Which English says it's not downgraded? Or which grammar is that? That is rather reviewed, but it's not downgraded. The thing is 4 tier.
It's been reduced.
And you've reduced it to 3. And they say you've not downgraded it. Hey, politician. More English. The Daily Graphic. Kumasi Shoe Factory underutilized. 1,500 jobs at risk. Mahama cares to fund specialist medical training. AGI ready for 24-hour economy. Calls for stimulated investment, stronger supply chains. Graphic has the story and more.
The Hawks newspaper, the Hawks. NPA boss boasts of tight grip on fuel market. Ministry of Finance moves to Kanda. Government pays school feeding caterers. Meals secured for millions of pupils. No money, no white wedding, according to the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. NDC in chaos over dirty primary. Big guns demand rerun. Has a picture of the majority leader. Yes, and one other person. The big story on the Hawks vote buying diplomat axed. These are the stories on the front page of the Hawk newspaper.
Now, this diplomat axe thing is a big issue. If you listen to the constituency executives of the NDC of Ayawaso East, they tells you that they are not happy with the majority caucus. Because if there's investigation, why conclude matters by saying it should be a no?
Yeah.
Number 2, if they've received anything and they are claiming that it is their constituency, you can't come and decide that it should be a no. They should go to their constituency and rather go there to annul the thing.
Yeah, so yesterday I was listening to, I think, Mustafa Gbande. I mean, before he spoke, one of the, I think the communications officer for the constituency spoke. Yeah. And he said he saw nothing wrong with the by-elections. I mean, he said that was the best ever election conducted. Then he was quick to add that in that constituency, I said better, because that cannot be the best election. So, and then after he spoke, Mustafa Gbande, the deputy secretary, also spoke. And he also was not pleased with the majority's call, you know, because, I mean, the party had already come out to condemn and they set up a committee to investigate.
Right.
So why would you now be calling for the annulment of the election.
It's like you are concluding matters for the committee already, because
when no investigation had not been conducted. Yeah. And also, given the background that as some members from the caucus had visited an aspirant
but that is truth, because we carried our story here where the female caucus on the majority side went to visit the widow and gave
100,000 Ghana cedi donation.
Now this widow we're talking about is also has a appointment from the presidency. You get it?
Yeah.
It's an appointment from the presidency.
Yeah.
So if other side felt aggrieved because she didn't win, they should let sleeping dogs lie, because this has become like a norm in our political fiber. Maybe going forward now we are beginning to wake up and see that this was done in the full glare of the public. But are they saying that none of them sitting there, they didn't induce anybody, they call it transport?
Of course they did. Of course they did. But yes, so I agree that
two wrongs don't make a right.
Yes, and we need to reset.
We need to reset the whole system.
But their call was too extreme.
Too extreme.
Yeah. At least they should have waited. The party had. So what was the interest of the majority? Someone argues that of course the winner will come and join them. But what is their interest? The party has, until the person comes to parliament, it is the party that is in control of everything. The party has instituted a committee to investigate. In fact, yesterday I was listening to Alhaji Nusa Fuseni, one of the members of the committee, and he said that
the one who has replaced
Mama Yarga, as at almost 6 p.m., they were having a meeting. The fourth candidate was here to come to answer questions, and so they were confident that they will be done today and present the findings. So it's not like they've given up to 6 months or a month or 3 months. Just 2 days. So why couldn't the majority caucus wait for the findings and then the recommendations and the sanctions that will be communicated or the way forward by the party?
They have already concluded matters.
Yeah.
The question you ask is why the rush?
So from everything that has happened from that side points to the fact that they have a favorite.
They have a favorite. That takes us to Business and Financial Times from the Hawk newspaper. And it's a Kumasi Shoe Factory pushes for compulsory school footwear directive. VFS Global warns against visa appointment fraud. UCC School of Business engages BF&T on strategic collaboration. Energy transition risk sidelining us, Dr. Opong warns. Those are the stories on the Business and Financial Times newspaper.
Okay, so the overseer, fiscal discipline, central to city stability efforts in 2026, says Dr. Theo Echampong. Mineral Income Investment Fund outlines bold strategic investment vision to navigate global market shifts in 2026. Roads Minister blames Asenso Boache for delayed Swamin interchange. Asenso was his predecessor. 5 newly sworn-in envoys tasked to pursue economic diplomacy, bring job and investment. Don't just go and be there and be doing His Excellency. Valco not for sale. Government pursuing strategic partnership to revive smelter. That is according to the GIADEC CEO. And then the big story on the front page, NDC government face crucial test as vote buying probe report due today. We'll be keeping an eye on it to see what the next steps will be.
Keep an eye on it and see what the next step will be. Takes us to the Metro Lens newspaper. The Metro Lens says the NHIS staff embrace frugal trend in solidarity with the President, Mahama. Cocoa Board CEO Sami Jamfi honored as the best CEO at the 15th RTP Award. Page 9 has a story. Abu Tarika sues NACO, FBI, Interior Minister AG Iyoko, and 610 million Ghana cedis in damages. Stories on page 4. Boko Alhaji Saidu Abagri granted 100,000 Ghana cedis bail. The stories on the Metro Lens.
Daybreak, MIIF, Mineral Income and Investment Fund, predicts strong GSE performance. Occupy Ghana calls for criminalization of vote buying. Ghana Gold Board CEO honored as best public company CEO. Big story, ECG MD's contract extension expires today. These are the stories on the front page of the Daybreak newspaper. I'm Pacho Obrusistia. I should go and sit home so that somebody will come and do the rest.
All right, so let's do the business analyst. The business analyst says Mama Swartz in 5 envoys. African businesses face systemic sabotage. KGL boss urges Africa to protect homegrown champions. The story of the MIIF is also the outline bold strategic investment vision to navigate global market shift 2026. Cocoa Board acts to overhaul funding model, Randy Abbey. And then the final story there says share of microfinance sector for overall banking sector declined to 8%. BOG at the Bank of Ghana.
The National Enquirer. KGL Group CEO calls for homegrown business champions to drive Africa's prosperity. Help us save lives. Mahama Care boss appeals to corporate Ghana comes with the CEO, Obobia Dakwa Opoku. She is in charge of the Mahama Cares board. Cocoa Board in a cash crunch. How contract defaults, debt, and a broken financing model pushed Ghana cocoa sector to the brink. NPA CEO touts authorities' disciplined regulatory regimen at 2026 Nigerian International Energy Summit. This one says government to roll out nationwide free primary health care in April. Comes with a picture of the Minister for Health, Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando, with some plenty grace coming already. Suspend Ayasu East primary results pending probe into bribery allegations. That is according to Opon Fosu. These are the stories on the front page of the National Enquirer newspaper.
Now let's do the archives. The archive says the former Cocoa Board director's secret properties exposed. In Kasem, Abrampe cooperative mining take off this February. Resident applauds government intervention. NHIS staff donate 800,000 to medical trust fund. KNUST student dies after falling from second floor of hostel. Vaco boils over the GI deck CEO. That story is on the archives.
Okay, from the archives, let's do the Chronicle. Vaco, again here, cannot survive on IGF alone. IGF is internally generated fund. That is according to the GIDEC CEO. Gold Board CEO named Best Public Company CEO. Parliament must do the people's business. Thank you. This is according to the Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah MP for Ofuasia Irebi. Amabua to commission Nkasem Abompe Cooperative Mining Project. The big one comes with 2 big kings in Ghana. I think his title is Osiadeyo Nana Ajimambedu. He's the Domahene. And then Otumfo Osei Tutu. Please, the Chronicle, please add, go and revise this front page. Add the Domahene's title. It's very important so that for public education, please add his title. So, Guard of Honor, Mensia reacts to Domahene's demand. Comes with a picture of the two kings, the Domahene to my left, and then the Otumfuo to my right. The scripture or verse for the day comes from Proverbs chapter 15, verse 18. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger quiets contention. This is the verse for the day for reflection.
And I think it belongs to the God of honor. The scripture tells it all. Now let's do the National Forum. The National Forum is a Prempeh College unique. Professor Akosa. Laribanga gets new mosque. Ayawaso East challenge and a national test. Story on the National Forum.
The Ghanaian Times. President Mahama inducted wax patron, West African College of Physicians and Surgeons. I think it is that. West African College of Surgeons.
Surgeons, yeah.
Yes. President Mahama inducted as a patron. Yesterday he said that each time his wife was due for labor and they start cutting. Interestingly, the wife had to go through CS session for all their babies, their children. And each time it was time, he will be in the labor ward until they start cutting, or then he will run away. So he wasn't sure whether he was fit to wear the gown that the surgeons put on him, but it was a nice thing. The president finds he tries to make light moments on every occasion. It was interesting listening to him yesterday. Government requires $600 million investment to revive Valco, according to the GIADEC CEO. Mofa secures $90 million Danish deal for share processing. Good one there. Nationwide HVP campaign, 1.9 million girls vaccinated. That is according to Dr. Kuchuati. I think I got that right. These are the stories on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Beautiful Dr. Kuchuati. Yeah.
All right, so we do the daily guide now from the Ghanaian Times. Let's do the daily guide. It's a Gold Ball CEO honored at RTP Awards. KNUST student forced to his death. Ayawaso East NDC vote buying saga. Majority calls for hold annulment as OSP probes case. SkyTrain trial. Court rejects AG's re-examination of witnesses. Richard Asiedu appointed EWAV President General. Stories on the daily guide.
So the stories on the front page of the inside, not too clear, but I'll try as much as possible. Over 1,000 jobs created so far. The tangible impact of Chief Meful's ethical leadership in Action A Ashaiman. EduPack program unveiled to ease SHS boarding admission and eradicate bedbug infestation. Family petitions Greater Accra Regional Minister over alleged security threat at Botiano lands. Renaming Ghana's Kotoka International Airport. History, identity, and the Pan-African quest for national unity. For the Cuban people, surrender is not an option. This is an international news featuring on the front page of the inside newspaper. The rest too blur. Not too clear. I don't know if you are able to.
Yeah, the story on the inside. And that's the last newspaper as well. Yeah. Okay, so but you have the renaming thing there. There is a family petition, the Greater Accra Regional Minister of an alleged security threat at Botiano lands. Okay, you've done that one.
Yeah.
While you have the St. Michael Specialist Hospital commissions a unit to honor Ofori Sapon. Dr. Sapon is there. I think those are the major ones. The jobs created, over 1,000 jobs created. Okay. And that's the very last final paper for today on the Inside newspaper. What's your interest? Which of the stories interest you? Great.
Abu Trika.
I know that's the story you want to go. You want to go check on Abu Trika.
Abu Trika is suing the state.
Who feels that his right is being trampled upon.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a right. I mean, you can't keep him there.
Yeah.
2-3 days, nothing has come out. He said he did not get food. He was maltreated.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things. Well, so that's where your take is. And I think that has been a major story dominating the coverage this morning. The Abu Trika is there. And another story that is interesting people is the Cocoa Board in liquidity crisis, payment assurance failed to come the cocoa farmers.
Yeah.
They don't need assurance, they need the Lucci.
Yeah.
They need the Lucci.
So the problems in that sector are multifaceted, and they've been existing since. Yesterday I was listening to the CEO.
It's a long time.
Again, and he said that some loans were secured, right, at a particular rate for a ton of cocoa, which was lower than the current price of a ton of cocoa. So they cannot, you see, what it means is that if they sell the cocoa beans right now, they would have to give so what they do is that they secure loans and then they will pay with the beans.
Yeah.
So we'll get money from the government. As I'm government of Ghana, you are a company, I come to you for loan. When the cocoa beans are ready, I deliver them to you. Now, the price at which I was to give you the beans, for which reason you gave me the loans, has changed. And so now me, the government, the cocoa farmer knows that now the price of cocoa has increased. So if I should sell his cocoa at the rate for which I went for the loan, the cocoa farmer will be agitating, which means that they will receive less. So it is a whole complex situation. I listened to him and I could see that the man is in hot soup. Yesterday,
you see, the way he started, when he had a position, is what has put him in where he is. Because you can't go asking questions again. You came in try to do politics. You came in chasing people, Jude Sack, these, that. You understand? When you go into public space and you start doing that, nobody will even go to give you information that will even help you to be able to tilt things around.
Yes.
I think that the first footing was wrong.
Yes.
And at least you could ask questions.
Yeah.
And you see, there's a monkey's place by their sizes. So you could find out exactly what is going on in there. Although there'll be some handing over notes that will be given to you, but that is not enough to sort this problem out.
Yeah.
Now, everything that we could buy the beans by the produced by companies, the license produced by companies, and now they've also used their money to buy a chunk of the beans, but government is not able to pay them and also sell the beans out. Now, the prices of beans has gone up. The last time we checked, that was last week, it was $5,040 per ton from 3,100. So you see that the demand is there. But the point is, how is government going to make sure that we solve this problem? Because this thing has been, you see, every year it happens. It happens. So how do we solve it? Well, if we've canceled the syndicated loan thing and want to buy and sell ourselves so we can make much profits, the way we're going about it is where the problem is.
Yeah. So I mean, we just hope that I genuinely want Dr. Randy Abe to succeed.
No, he's
because yesterday,
the
way the MPP man gave it to him, say you were on Good Morning Ghana, you were talking plenty, and you were lambasting everybody, and now they've given the job to you and his excuses. I felt so bad. I mean, he was on the show. So I pray that himself, the government, the minister will be able to, all stakeholders will be able to, resolve this issue and then pay the farmers. But it's a serious challenge because if loans were contracted using a particular price, and now the price of cocoa has increased, I can't go to the farmer and say that I'm going to sell your beans at the rate of yesterday, which was lower. I mean, there will be agitation there. So there is debt, there's confusion.
If it's you, would you?
Exactly. Exactly. And the issue is you are not going to pay with money. You have to deliver.
So give the beans out. Give it out.
So whose beans are you going to deliver using that rate? That is the problem now. So, in fact, this calls for scrutiny, forecasting when they are contracting some of these loan agreements. If not, we'll always come back here and be talking about these things. If you know that we are dealing with a commodity whose price is not stable,
it fluctuates
all the time, we should keep that in mind. Talk to experts, right? We consider all geopolitical events that are likely to cause the fluctuation. Speak to international relations experts. I mean, they should know better. Looking at all the things that Trump is doing, all the happenings in the Middle East and all of that. Anything that is likely to impact the price of our commodities on the world market, these things should be considered. And then we can forecast that, by 2028, even if not the same, we expect the price of cocoa to be around this price. But of course, there are also some issues that may come up in between, which we may not be able to foretell. So it calls for it calls for experts in making some of these negotiations, not just people who just appear from nowhere and because they've been given positions. And that is why I always say that, Mr. L, you see, the kind of appointments we make, they have ripple effects. That is why I always say that we should not just appoint people because they are politicians. Of course, the politicians who will help the person to win. And that is why competent people, technocrats, should also be interested in politics. I like the fact that President Mahama has given positions to people outside his political party. The likes of Professor Ransford Jampo, to the Shippers Authority, the likes of Dr. Kure Champon, the likes of Dr. Randy Abe and co, who are not party members. These are some of the people who come with knowledge, with experience. But if you only give appointment to party people, they will go and make some of these agreements, sign some of these contracts without any knowledge, without any experience, without the ability to tell what will happen, without consulting, in fact, there are people, ministers who don't even consult the what's the name? The civil servants in the ministry. They just go there and it is them and their secretaries that they brought. So the workers at the ministry who are civil servants, public servants, not the political appointees, are there. When you study public administration, this is one of the big problems that our public institutions face. The fact that when you go to health ministry, the health director, the HR person, all the people there who are technocrats, who are not politicians, are not used. The minister will come there. I'm not saying that is the case at the health ministry now, but that is something that has been ongoing. They will come there and then they will make these people useless. But these are the people who have been at the ministry for long. These are the people who are technocrats. They know what is going on. But the political appointees will decide to sideline them. I don't like the fact that we give appointment to party people, core party people, just because they are party folks. And they will get there and not even realize the fact that I don't have the competency. So let me engage the technocrats in the ministry. But they will go and be signing some of these shady deals, which will come back and be hurting us. The NPP has no moral right to attack Randy Abe because it was during your time that some of these loans were contracted. You made some of these deals. So you have no moral right. Let's support the CEO and the president, the government, the Agric Ministry, Cocoa Board to find solutions to some of these challenges rather than attacking the man because you were the one who signed some of these deals. You went into some of these agreements. No. So allow Dr. Randy Abe to breathe. He has his own flaws, but the man is working. He's not trying to follow the status quo. In every problem, you can just fix it. But the thing will be there. We've not resolved the challenge.
Well,
but he's trying to go deeper, resolve the challenges from the bottom, so that will not have it recurring in the future. So allow him some space. Don't come and attack him, because you signed the deal. You made those contracts. You contracted those loans. It was during your tenure that all these things happened. So you have no moral right to speak against him. Yes, he's been put there to solve the challenge, but identify that you orchestrated all these things there. So you don't create the mess and then come and be attacking the man that he's not been able to face it. If it was easy, wouldn't you have faced it before you left?
Well, the cocoa board is facing a liquidity crisis, struggling to pay cocoa farmers and license buying companies due to funding challenges and market conditions. The CEO, Dr. Randy Abbey, acknowledged the financial strain, citing accumulated debt and global cocoa price fluctuation. The government and Cocoa Board are exploring new financing models to clear arrears, but farmers remain unpaid since November 2025. The crisis has sparked concerns about the sector's sustainability, with farmers facing financial hardship and potential losses. The minority in Parliament has accused the Cocoa Board of mismanagement, demanding immediate payment to farmers and accountability. The question you keep asking yourself: the new funding model being explored by Cocoa Board aims to reduce Ghana's reliance on exporting raw beans and boost value addition within the industry. This shift is expected to prioritize local processing of cocoa beans, enhance industrial capacity, and improve revenue generation along the cocoa value chain. The key impact on the cocoa sector and the farmers is the new model may lead to more cocoa beans being processed locally and creating opportunities for value-added products and increasing revenue for Ghana. By focusing on a value addition, farmers may receive better prices for their cocoa and improve their livelihood. The new model would also see ease pressure on the syndicated loan arrangement, reducing Ghana's debt burden. And the shift may open opportunities for local and international investors in cocoa processing and also manufacturing. However, this comes with some challenges, and concerns remain that the payment delays, where farmers are still awaiting payment for the cocoa supply since November 2025, and a new model may not immediately address these issues. The liquidity challenge where the Cocoa Board has faces the financial constraint. The success of the new model depends on effective implementation and funding. So this is where we find ourselves. If you look at the Cocoa Board leadership, accountability is a complex issue now. Whilst the organization faces external challenges like global cocoa price fluctuation, funding constraint, questions about management decision and oversight also remain. So it's one of the things. Randy Abbey, the Cocoa Board, are responsible for navigating the organizations through financial challenges. A state institution, Cocoa Board, must also maintain public trust and accountability. It is crucial in maintaining transparency, and accountability can help identify areas for improvement and also prevent similar crises. However, there are some factors might mitigate the accountability: external factors, global market trends, government policies, funding challenges contribute to the crisis. So Cocoa Board operates under government oversight, and decisions may involve broader policy considerations. So the minority in Parliament has already demanded accountability, citing mismanagement and investigation could help determine the extent of leadership responsibility and also guide reforms. So we look forward to see how these issues will be solved, and then we can get our Cocoa Board back in line. We'll be going to the phone line shortly to have a conversation with the Greater Accra Regional Minister to find out some matters happening with the Ayawaso East elections. She's been mentioned. If you look at all the portals yesterday, she's been mentioned on several platforms to determine exactly what is happening with them. So exactly to have that conversation. So whilst waiting for the conversation, we dealt with the cocoa board issue. There was another issue on the newspapers. Let me see which was the Abu Trika case. Abu Trika's case. It's also one case. It's interesting. I mean, his rights is being trampled upon, so he has every right to throw a sabble at those entities. It's exactly 8. So we're going for a quick break. When we come back, we have that conversation. All right, so welcome back from that quick break. You're still live on the morning focus and the national policy focus. All brought you the newspaper review segment of the conversation. And then we will move on. So whilst waiting to receive, to have to speak to the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Greater Accra Regional Minister, we will go back to the expose that has to do with the tax for Galamsey, the hotline issue, and pick a snipe of some conversation around it with some few persons, and then we get back into the studios. So whilst waiting for the call, let's rush get a view of the happening from the hotline. and then we'll bounce back into the studio. First, we take a listen. We go take a listen to the tape that came out yesterday and pick your thoughts on the issue that boils down to Galamsey, the tax for Galamsey.
Omoyano can never be said as fighting illegal mining, but rather extracting monies and creating problems.
In this documentary, we expose the coordinated extortion scheme, now an organized network involving district authorities, NADMO officials, and a district chief executive himself. A network stealing from the people, enabling illegal mining, and accelerating the environmental genocide unfolding across forests and river systems in the Amanse Central District of the Ashanti region.
All right, so we'll go back and bring the expose, but let's go on the line and speak to the Greater Accra Regional Minister. She also doubles as the MP for Shai Osudoku, Honorable Linda Oklu Akwele. Good morning, Honorable. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I think we're losing her on the line. If PCR can raise her again, we'll try to fine-tune ourselves with the happenings from the Ayawaso East and also dive into what she's been able to achieve so far in the Greater Accra region, being the regional minister, and also her constituency, where she represents the people of Shai Osudoku. We'll be trying to get some education on what has been done so far. We're there. Once we get her on the line, once we get her on the line, we go. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning, madam.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Honorable?
I'm fine.
By His grace, I'm also doing very well. It's good to hear your voice on Morning Focus on MBN TV here on the 10th Avenue.
It's a TV program, right?
It's a TV, yes.
Yes, but just call, I didn't know who I'm supposed to talk to.
Oh, okay, so you speak it.
Yes, I'm not aware that I'm.
Oh, sorry. So sorry about that. But I thought we had a conversation yesterday that we're going to call you around 8 a.m. this morning to have the conversation. Well, we're looking at the portals and the stories that has been going around with your, with the issues that came out with the Ayawaso East parliamentary primaries, that your presence also caused some stir, some favoritism and what have you. What do you have to say on this?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, let me apologize because I'm not in the know that I'm talking on Thursday anyway. Good morning to our cherished listeners and viewers this morning. My attention was drawn on the construction ongoing under the bridge around East Lagos.
Okay.
And so I have to go there and just let me know that, in fact, when I pick the intel, I have to be there to make sure that what I heard was right. Indeed, when I got there, I noticed there was a construction ongoing. In fact, I have to call the MC to meet me at the place. And I also asked the MC because he issued the permit. So he should come with the owner so that they let me know what they are doing there. And lo and behold, I met the owner there together with the MC. I asked, what is she doing? And she said she was doing a car park, washing the restaurant. I said, who gave you that permit to do that? And she said she got a permit from that permit. So quickly, as a regional minister, I have to make sure that all the work there are being demolished. And I did that after I left there. And I asked the assembly to revoke the permit. In fact, yesterday, the planner, the LCE, and the coordinating director were invited at the presidency to bring the president out to who gave them that go ahead to do that. And God of Spirit, I'm here to get the feedback from the presidency. I don't know. So let me get the feedback, and I can talk to you. But this time, like I said, there was a construction. I approached the owner of the person who was doing the construction, and she confirmed. She's a lady. She confirmed that she's doing it, and that she wants to do a car park, she wants to do a washing day, and then also a restaurant. And so I said, no, this place will not tolerate this. And so I have to be working the place, make sure that I scoop all the materials down the draw there. We make sure that we collected all the blocks from the site and then have the natural taste of the beach before I left there on Sunday. Yesterday I passed by and I noticed the place it's okay now. And so this is what we got into. The planner has invited to let why he issued that permit. And so I'm here to get a briefing as to how the meeting transpired. So that is it.
Okay, but there was this a story that also came out that is actions that led to some allegations of you backing a candidate in the Ayawaso East primaries that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, the issue that rejoinder is not true. After the demand of let's call it Honorable Nadami Soren independently, I've never self-refuted. There is a chairman that they are speaking to. In fact, I met him twice. I met him only twice. When we were doing the confirmation of the MCs, that was the first day I met him. And then afterwards, when Honorable Nada died, I also had an encounter with him. That is all. So, and for them to tell me that I'm supporting the candidate again, I don't have, I'm a widow as well, like a woman. And I've always supported this woman. In fact, I even told my colleague in Parliament that when this woman comes up, we should support her fully wholeheartedly. And so for them to come back again accusing me, I mean, I don't know. On the Saturday, as the chairman for Rexed, it's my duty to go there and make sure that, because I got a briefing. We have meetings, series of meetings before Rexed meetings ahead of the election. And on the day of the election, unfortunately, I lost one of my colleagues in Asuchari. So you notice that I was even in the funeral attack. Just after the burial of our late colleague, former organizer of the constituency, Shai Osudoku, I went there because of the briefings I had to make sure that I appreciate the work of the regional command who has deployed the police to make sure that there is peace and order and we have a free and fair election. So after my presence there is to congratulate them for what they've done so far. Congratulate the EC official and also the agent. That was all I did. And then walked back into my car. So I was surprised. And I know the person behind because you see, before the election, I made my stand clear. And I'm the regional minister. This is the internal election. And so I wouldn't come out to campaign openly for anybody. In fact, they are all my party members. This is internal. If it has to do with NDC, NPP, why not? Like I did to Elabna, you notice I was all over her. Because she's a woman. And so when the issues come with women, my dear, I don't joke with it. In Parliament, there's nothing like women, even when you come to Parliament, women of NDC, NPP. It's not the same. And it has to come to when it has to do with elections, my dear. I have to fight for my party. And so that has been my stand all this while. And so if someone thinks, because I didn't have opinion to campaign, so he wants to start catching by guiding people to vote at me. That is the person's problem. I only went there as a head of security to make sure that there is peace and order, free and fair, and that was what was repeated on Saturday. Did you hear any? In fact, not anywhere the barricade around. Well, I told them that everybody walked in freely to go and vote, and then go back to wherever you are coming. And the place was so nice, so organized. You see, so it's my duty as a chair to congratulate them. So if anybody is giving a report, it's not true. And in fact, I'm not finished taking care of my constituency. My child is one of the largest constituencies in terms of land and data coverage. I'm not finished taking care of them. So why would I go and be distributing flat, the flat? I don't remember the last time I bought flat. That I've shared flat and whatever. It's not true, it's just a new allegation.
It is not true. I know that there's a committee that has been set up to investigate all these matters as you move on. But let me come to your work as a Greater Accra Regional Minister and also an MP for the Shai Osudoku constituency. What has been the challenge, especially balancing your role as a constituency MP for the Shai Osudoku, and as well as the Greater Accra Regional Minister? Have you been able to balance this work to serve both sides and then the entirety of Greater Accra?
Yes, aside all that, I'm also a mother, don't forget.
A mother.
I have a lot of kids. I have a lot of kids. So
right.
It hasn't been easy. Yes, I have a lot of kids. It hasn't been easy though, but as a politician, I keep on telling people that politics is about calling. If you are not being called and you force yourself, you have challenges. My dear, if I tell you that I'm facing any challenges, it's not true. Because as I'm speaking to you now, I'm able to manage the constituency because I have already executives, I have branch executives, I have campaign managers and sports. I have my constituents who are always on the ground to make sure that things are okay. When there's a need for me to do like a presentation or any support, that is where they draw my attention. And I give it to them to do on my behalf. And so things so far so good. Just that we have, in fact, we cannot solve all problems. The major also, and major issue has to do with our roads. And God being so good, His Excellency the President has awarded a big push. In fact, majority of them, the big push comes from the constituency. The only challenges have to do with the inner roads, which we also help with the drill machine to make sure that we reshape some of the inner roads within the constituency. But hopefully, after the 4 years, because His Excellency has told the Road and Highways Minister that every year there should be an award to all the constituencies. At least every year they will award roads. So at the end of all this, you can tell what will happen to every constituency. At least there will be a project ongoing in all the 275 constituencies. After that, like I said, the region also, I have technocrats I work with. And so I'm not bossy there. I keep on telling people. I mean, this regional is something central. I mean, you can be called that today, you'll be reached out. So why would you be pompous there? I'm just a common online messenger there. And so I work with everybody. And everybody is also working with me. And so they are helping me, my dear, to do my job. So funny thing, I'm not having any difficulty. I have the people I have who are helping me. I'm able to make sure that I meet my target. And that is what we're able to do. You make those street light issues. Everybody on board, all the NMDCs, they are also on board. Anything like that, and you can attend to the fact that any issues within sanitation, within the data strategy. You don't do that, it's improving. Sanitation is improving. So eventually what I tell them, they listen. I think they shouldn't sit in the office when your work is ready, and then the air conditioning will be blowing at no. That is not what the research agenda is. Make sure they routine visit their communities and know what is happening. And so we are working, and I can see that they are helping me, and my job is I'm not finding any difficulty. In terms of managing the homes, I have people there, but let me thank my cook who has been doing all this work. I've worked with her for almost 20 years now. She's still with me. I have my nannies who I've worked with them for some 10 years, some 5 years. They are still with me taking care of my kids. And so it's about relationship, my dear. If you have a nice relationship with your subordinate, trust you will have an issue. And thankfully God being so good, they are still in the strength. And I'm always moving. If I don't sit in the office, but people ask, what is your secret? I mean, God. And I hardly fall sick too. I hardly fall sick.
You hardly fall sick.
I have to thank God for how far He has brought me. And I'm doing everything smoothly without any challenge.
Now, let me ask, how do you address the concerns of residents and communities where street lights have been installed but are still experiencing darkness due to non-functional lights?
Yes, I met the minister, the Road and Highways Minister, that was on Friday. We had a meeting to that effect. In fact, I told you some time ago that our challenge with the street lights has to do with the test. Because when we fix the lights, the following 2 or 1 week, you go back, the entire church almost have its cost. when you call the service provider to come and assess the place, they tell you that they've stolen some of the cables, so they have to replace. And that has been actually so far. But notwithstanding, like we said, we are putting measures in place to make sure that they monitor the street lights within all the districts. And so you can see that now the service provider now has been contracted. Once everybody did the implementation, and we notice that here is the best. I mean, this was contracted from the Ministry of Energy. And so awarded enough of contractors to make sure that they fix our street lights. But like I said, one service provider is a forester has been giving part of Ada to him. And so he will decide or she will decide that he will start for Ada for. So at least when you start for Ada for going to perhaps say, the intervention will be drawn that the line that you see from Ada for half of it is not working. So you have to go back and know the reason why half of it is not working. And so when the issues are occurred, then they have to improve. And that has been a challenge, like I said. And so, even recently, another 20 contractors were brought to the RCC, the office, that they have awarded contract to them to make sure that they close this portion of road. So the street lights we are mixed. We also task their service because the Ministry of Energy together with myself, we are in charge of the ceremonial street. We task the LODC to be in charge of the industry, and that is why you could see that we've issued, this is not the first second, we issued our product with different street lights. Now, I'm speaking to you now. This Friday, we are giving another street light to the LSDC because so that they can make sure that their place are on, all the lights within their district are on. So after the maps that we are giving to them from the government, we also task them to purchase some from their common funds, either their common funds or their RTL, so that they can take their life. We also ask them that they shouldn't wait for 1, 2, 3, and 10 nights to be off before we start working on it. So you have a daily routine, monitoring. And so that when the night is off, you fix it. You will find it difficult and waiting for all the lights to be off at a particular place before you look for electricians. All the assemblies, they have electricians. So why should we have challenge? Now, electricians, what are they doing at the various assemblies? So we have a daily routine, and now we give them unannounced visits. The assemblies, we are giving them unannounced visits and make sure that their street lights are working. So it's good to give a period of time, but they should sharp and rest assured that the lights, all the lights within the greater Accra region will be worked on. We should also be a guide for ourselves when they feel the lights as a citizen. Make sure that you also monitor for the government. Because if you see someone or whether someone at a particular pool, who you suspect that this person what is doing there, just draw the attention of the police for the person to be arrested. You see, but if you think the box is coming from the government, you don't care whoever, is stealing the cables and you see all for them. At the end of the day, financial loss to the state. Don't forget that it's our own money that we use to purchase whatever. So we should also be monitoring the street lights. We've also told the police to do their patrol at night and make sure that the implementation of the 24-hour economy will also help us. Now, there are things before we tell them to do that. The task force that they are employing, they should make sure that they work day and night. So the morning shift, they will go and close around 4 or 5, and then the evening will start ourselves and close the following day, so that every day there will be night off. And so we are working on it to make sure that we put visibility within the greater Accra region.
I know you did touch earlier on, you talked about sanitation, but how do you plan to address the root cause of sanitation issues in informal settlements like a lack of infrastructure and poverty areas?
Yeah, sanitation will keep us in attitude now. Because we invest so much in sanitation. Now, the assembly, so that is employed, secret. They pay them daily 150 Ghana a day. So if they employ like 200 people, you can imagine the number money they spend. And so when time is being tasked to see the entire place, and they finish sleeping, and then you just wake up on your house because you have to pay $50 a month for the chance to come and collect your rent. You refuse to do that. So you wait at night when everybody is sleeping, and then you go and grab it at wherever you feel like that. So that has been their challenge. And so now, in fact, all the task force, Medina is doing things, and some of the issues are doing things. In the night, that is what we have the challenge. So we need night sleepers and the day. Because that is when in time we are ready. So also we lose sight our mind that at the end of the day, the sanitation related issue is not the challenge for only the government to solve, but you should also take it as your personal project. Because the sort of disease, at the end of the day, trust me, disease doesn't know a rich person or a poor person. We will all be down. And so if you know that you take sanitation issues, seriously as your personal project and make sure that your environment are clean, you empty your bin at the right, you make sure that you don't dump anyhow, anytime, my dear, we will be free in Ghana. There's no need for us to go and employ people. Recently, about a week ago, I started to now that every day should be sanitation day. Yes, we have every month we are there. I doesn't mean that the month before we undertake sanitation as before. So every day you could see that now the SNDC, they are kids every day making sure that they are keeping their district. I was there and monitored Medina when they did the sanitation, they went on the road, the taxi ran. In fact, the entire place was clean. And so I led them to the office. You know, I live in those ones.
Yeah.
So on my way back, in fact, that day we did some decongestion at 2 and co. So I called home very late. On my way back, the same place that we did the sanitation, I noticed a heap of refuse when I was returning back. So I called the MC. I'm like, this issue, can you come and see this person? How? He said, you were here in witness, the staff place was clean. Look at what our people are doing. So sometimes, monitoring is something of idea. So it's attitude that we have to make sure that we feel our mind that sanitation issues is not only a challenge to the government, but you should also take it as your personal project and protect your environment. Anywhere is meant to government. So if you don't have that mindset, trust me, this country will be one of the best countries we've ever had.
Well,
these are some of the issues, yeah.
But how? Definitely, we will get, and we pray that people listening to you around the Greater Accra and its enclave across the entire country will take a cue from it to know that it's responsibility for all of us to make sure that we keep the city clean. But when it comes to IGF, what are your plans for improving revenue generation and economic development in the region?
Yeah, the revenue collection and the various assemblies. There's a software system that we ask all the MMDCs. In fact, we even use Collect Rotate as an example because Collect Rotate has increased their revenue to 200%. Now, as I'm saying to you now, AMA has also increased their revenue to almost about 300%. So there's this software they use in collecting revenue. In fact, if you ask people to collect, sometimes you issue a receipt for the assembly tax, they also go and prepare their own receipt and issue. And so if you don't use the software system, we will always come back to square one. And so we ask all the assemblies that they should emulate for what Collect Rotate and AMA and other districts are doing, so that they implement the software system where it can monitor the revenue for the assembly so that they can have the right revenue at the various assemblies to do whatever project they want to use to do. So these are some of the measures we're putting in place to make sure that we monitor revenue and get our money back at the various assemblies. Because if you can't someone to go and take revenue, how are you sure that the money that the person will collect is the same money that the person will report? They are printing their own receipts, doing a lot of dubious things on the ground. And so without the software, they can never get it right. And so we ask them to do that. And the software people, they all there to give their presentations. And so, whichever way we work for any assembly, they should feel free and get in touch with those people and make sure that they get their revenue match at the various assembly.
I know we've had a lot of issues that has to do with Greater Accra in terms of security in our various communities. We've heard some 1 or 2 things that have not really gone down well with us as the year started. I know in security matters, you want to touch base on it, and also what do you think the role of the traditional leaders will do in helping you develop the Greater Accra as a model that when you leave, you know that you have this legacy to show off?
Your line is not clear. The line is not clear.
Okay, so can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Yes.
Right. I was asking that what is your take on the role of traditional leaders in promoting development and accountability in the Greater Accra region as a minister for the area?
Yes, we are getting gradually our traditional leaders involved in whatever we do. Because some of them, although when they talk that people, they listen to them. For instance, you notice that when we did the regional sanitation, the national sanitation, we had one of the chiefs who happens to be Mintaki. He was there from morning to evening. In Katako, other districts, all the chiefs got involved in the sanitation within their district. And so gradually, we are getting them involved. In fact, we even sometimes ask of their opinion before we undertake or do anything at the various, because they are the custodians of the land. And so in terms of the traditional leaders, without them traveling, we cannot succeed. So they are also helping us. In fact, they are even buying to the idea that anything they do, we should let them know so that they will champion it for us. And it's working for us. It's what you notice when I assume office, I visited all the 12 traditional councils, 13 traditional councils within the region. And we told them to help the sanitation. In fact, some of the chiefs even have their own timetable that they use to do their sanitation. They only wait for the sanitation they have, and they are doing it, and it's helping us. So kudos to our traditional leaders. In fact, we pay homage to the regional chiefs, those which happens to be, they have their office in those. We met all the chiefs, the traditional regional house of chiefs. We met them and we spoke to them, and we told them the minister of local government was present. And so he told them what they should do to also help us. Minister of Senior was also there in terms of security-wise. In a lot of the ministers, trade minister was also there to meet them so that they can support us so that the research agenda, together we can achieve it.
Well, I'm impressed that your time is running out for you, but let me just pick just one with you before you leave us. What are your plans for the
20? We have a workshop.
Yes. Okay.
I'm entering, but it's already started.
It's already started.
Yes, I have to come out.
Okay, let me pick this one with you before you enter. What are your plans for the 2026 for the region?
Oh, I said this year is an action year. We have to set our targets right. Issues with sanitation in the region, we have to get it right. Issues with security, we have to get it right. Issues with chieftaincy and land litigation, we have to get it right. Issues with boundaries, land boundaries, we also have, because that has been our only challenge within the region. These are some of the few challenges we are facing in the region. And so that is what we put in place to make sure that this time around, we are not going to give chance to anything. We recently noticed that we even have to declare one of the places in the Chandaco enclave as a security zone. Yes, because we noticed that there is this land litigation over there, and which is causing a lot of problems within the country. Every day there has been a shooting incident around that enclave, and residents around have been afraid they cannot even come out. So we have to declare the place a security zone. In terms of saving our water bodies within the region, you know that this year, recently ago, we did this demolition exercise around the Pechi to make sure that we protect our wetlands and are router sites. And so these are some of the measures. The police visibility at the various districts. You can also see clearly that they are working. In fact, we have a meeting with all the districts to make sure that night patrol and daily patrol is very important. And some of them even assure us that even their leaves, they will make sure they will not take their leaves now. They will make sure that they work for the nation. And they are doing so well. In fact, the Land Commission has also come in to help with the traditional the land boundary within the various districts. So they are also helping in that regard. And land litigation with the land house issue, our police commanders are also working so hard to make sure that we link it within the region. So these are some of the measures putting in place. First, this year is an action year. We are not going to give chance to anybody who will make sure that he or she will not allow fast. We want the region to be peaceful, as it says always, as the regional minister, my main duty, I tell them, if I ask for chieftaincy, it's not my mandate to determine who becomes the chief. It's my duty to make sure that there's peace in the region. That's why we've met some of the places that there are chieftaincy issues, so that within them, the House of Chiefs can also come in to resolve the issue. So these are some of the measures we put in place to make sure that the region is safe and calm and peaceful. In fact, this age on the 18th, we'll be having a accountability series. And that will be ongoing. It's a sense of greater authority on the 18th. So we'll be live and let the public know what we've done so far within our tenure in office.
Honorable Linda Oklu, thank you so much for your time with us. We are grateful. I look forward to having more conversation with you again.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we've been talking to the Honorable Linda Oklu, the MP for Shai Osu-Doku, also doubles as the Greater Accra Regional Minister, having some time with us this morning, bringing the time to 8 a.m. Just before the nurses joins us to have a conversation, interesting conversation.
Yes, very interesting.
I got preps that her time.
Yeah. I mean, very interesting conversation. If we had time, then
yeah, we could have
lots we could talk about. Yes,
there's a lot of questions I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
But because I got the prep, I have to just wrap it up. So I think we've gotten something, which is for me the lighting, the sanitation, the security,
especially with land guard. This morning it was in one of the papers that one family had petitioned her over security, land issues, and like she mentioned, almost every day somebody is dying. So security is of concern in Botiano, in what's the name, Santor. Those areas, Manjo and Ponkatamanso, area. So we hope that the traditional leaders and herself, the assemblies, will put measures in place. I mean, about the allegations surrounding the East election.
At least it's clear.
Sometimes it's because of similarities. Linda Oklu also had a similar incident. She also came to the house following the demise of the husband. So people are likely to just associate her to the widow who was also contesting. These things are bound to happen. I mean, you can't prevent people from conjecturing their own things. So and I was interested in her views on the majority's call for the election to be annulled. But I have to admit, look, when Linda Oklu was and probably I would have told her that when she was being interviewed, when she was being vetted, I was one of those people who were not too happy about the entire vetting process, how short it was. It appears as if people were shielding her from answering questions. But I have to admit that she's doing so well. Honorable Linda Oklu is doing so well so far. She's proven critics wrong. She's up to task. And like I said the other day, that is one of the ways you can put your critics, to shame. All you need to do is to be competent. All you need to do is to deliver. Once you deliver, they have nothing to say against you. But if people doubt you, if people, have issues with your appointment, and you go there and you are unable to deliver, then you will prove them right. But as it stands, I can say that the Honorable Linda Oklu is doing so well as regional minister. She's up to task. She's updated on all areas, just like the president. One thing I like about President Mahama is that call him from his sleep and ask him about power sector. He knows what is happening there. Ask him about the cocoa, even when he was in opposition. And that is one quality of a good leader. You should know everything that is happening under your jurisdiction. And that is what Linda Oklu is doing.
Right.
I mean, not too long ago, she was in one of the assemblies and she was seen publicly chastising an MC. In fact, she made me reference to it herself. It's not about being
in the office
and air condition.
Get out there and go do the job.
She's doing so well. She's doing so well. Yes, so far she's proving critics, including myself. No, I wouldn't say I was a critic, but I just wasn't happy about how short the vetting was. The fact that because I didn't know her so much, so some of us is not. We wanted to know who she was, what she's bringing in as a regional minister, and that is why we were not happy that people tried to. It was as if they were shielding her from answering questions. People said she couldn't talk. I don't know if you remember the incident.
No,
a lot of things for which reason.
At the end of the day, she's
she's doing so well. She's doing so well.
A lot of recommendations. We say a big thank you to her. For those of you who did that listen and you want to call in 03-053-715-863, and we can't keep her on the line because she's in the Jubilee House for a meeting, and we have to pull her out to talk with us.
And she did agree.
Yeah, she did agree.
A minister, an appointee who doesn't shy away from the media. She's always ready to engage the media.
And you know the funny thing, when PCR were telling me they're calling her, she's not. I just sent a message to her that but we said, sorry, you didn't know that I was the last. Okay, that's the studio line. And then once they call her, she's ready to talk with us. And for me, that's a mark of a leader who is also always ready to talk. And we say kudos to her. We're looking forward to have more conversation with her, trying to lure her into the studio. Unfortunately, but she said she had a meeting today at the Jubilee. And we look forward to bring other ministers as well to come speak to us here on MBN TV. So be watching out. We have a lot of things happening this year. And us, they will bring you some unannounced before you see they are in the studio to talk with you. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going for a commercial break. When we return back, what we're going to do now is to have a conversation with a rep from the Lekma Polyclinic. And today's Health Matters, and we'll look at what's happening in our health sector. So don't go away. All right, so welcome back. Welcome back from the quick break. Are you still live on the Morning Focus? And today is Health Matters. So what we're going to do is to go to the Lekma Polyclinic. Today, I know a lot of people will be wondering why this topic. The topic has to do with anemia during pregnancy. We see our mothers, our sisters get anemic when it comes to pregnancy. And then Madam Anastasia Apia is here with me to have this conversation this morning. Auntie, at then, Munka Fantana Munka P. Nina the Frafra, and Amka Brofo. Nina, okay. It's what is anemia in pregnancy? Because we are looking at anemic. This is somebody's anemic, or somebody, what is anemia, especially when it comes to pregnancy? What are we looking at?
That's it. So, okay, the anemia in pregnancy.
Yeah.
The short time there. And ba onyema ni mojai akofom.
Okay.
Ni mojai no abafom. Na less than 11 gram per deciliter.
Okay.
Obia no there ni mojai wo more than 11 eko. Nti yamfa ne there pure water sachet no. Oninya 11 wo body 11 elko nti se wodi ni wo form 10 9 na chede anemic.
Oh, okay, so it shouldn't be less than.
It should be less than 11.
It should be 11.
Yeah.
Not
upwards.
11 upwards.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be less than 11. See, so a drop about 10, 9, it means you're anemic.
Yes.
Wow. But what are the causes of anemia in pregnancy?
One, causes of anemia in pregnancy no. You find there ubi ebuninsa na moja no obebebre after menstruation no ebuna nipa ko na ayohia na so there oye bibi kakra na wa abre eno onyinsa ne yo na menses no na ama wa yedam na se yeka anemia in pregnancy chede cause ni chede nipa ko no opemfo no aya na 1 2 na wa abre oye bibi kakra no wa abre no wa tena ase aya no nya shortness in breath.
Okay.
Shortness in breath and afin so owie na moja tunu so a ono so course ni bi ebi wa we na moja all of a sudden moja ni fin na otu ono so ye course ni bi ebi wa so a sickle cell patient a onyem ono so tumi ye anemic course ni bi no na ohon so a the baby to the leukemia leukemia na wanyem leukemia fun so dem da adi twa wona moja no ontwa so moja no ogunu no na ne moja no so obefom oye course ni bi na normally na ye ka de obi a oye anemia no otum onyinsa na ne ba no o miscarry.
Oh, okay. So it means there's a anemic. Na if and the probability that you will lose
your baby.
Wow. So you need to be very healthy.
Yes.
And then wapumudin or no ohia wankasa. Otherwise, why you checking. The other time number catch will be there's something called endosage where they will check your tummy and everything, see with everything is right. No, so whatever it is, you need to go check and know what is wrong with you. But since you to my mind, the causes of anemia and pregnancy, what are the symptoms? But on your symptoms, I don't know about a I know the shit. You know, the madi, no, the offender, minya, no, cheddar, may anemic, so that at least people will be informed that. These are some of the symptoms, that signs that shows that I'm anemic or I'm becoming anemic.
Symptoms, no, or you be brave.
Okay.
So you better crazy.
Okay.
Obia on your moya or Nimoja will form no. Then biano na unhia energy or the bayazi. Or send when you the me energy now fine ye a juma ya. Na tembiano better na Nima do reaching. Na ade bibi obeye bia no ontumi nye nipa na ye hwea nenwa se oni nsemu ehu de nipa na ogina ho na onyem ehu de onimoja the symptoms no tiredness and the lack of energy and I feel so palpitation na komotum bo kim o say na moja na o de o pump ba na adwene mu na ne hunam nu moja ni ndo so nti o de force nti obama na koma abono ntententam nipa no ebo ni nwa do tum esu no ano so ye symptoms ni bi ebo so nya severe headache ti pai den nso ye symptoms ni bi pregnancy na anemia.
So severe headache, persistent palpitation, flashes of lights, tiredness, lack of energy. These are all signs of symptoms of anemia. Wow. To me, that when you become anemic, it means that all these things leaves your system.
Yeah.
Now, since we are looking at anemia during pregnancy, in the bindu to be able to pep up your blood levels. I mean, what are the food that will help fight anemia in pregnancy?
At least chefua de odozi. Yes.
Now no what to chefua so cousin chefua then. No what to chefua no so then good.
Chefua no what to know ni ye mompo e. Meat ododi. Beans. Ododi. Beans nso. Say the beans nso bo ma nipa ni.
So beans is one of the finest.
Kontom red eye fry. Enya de be di kontom no raw.
What dem go kokko what eye fry.
What eye fry. Ingredients
e wo
mo. Wo benku, wo bayer, wo broze.
But it is not che the twetwe leaves nso the frafro.
Anu po de e be di kontom fry na da menyama na e chi betuma e di leaves nso.
Na say na di fruits nso aka.
Say na di fruits nso aka.
Yeah, actually you have to color your plate. And I'm afraid you need to color your plate.
Pa. Na unkwan so unkwan e ye unkwan a ye nya unkwan dama bi wo tum twitwa cabbage. Carrots.
No de
unkwan no.
Na but the unkwan here mukono unkwan was of friend onion soup.
Onion soup.
Okay,
onion soup no nya painful na na wotum di. Because of the scent.
The scent. What's Moko baby no ma'am onion soup? What is very good? It's like healthy.
Healthy. Now all the enema feeling.
But only be a condiment to
scent go wa.
Ontum. Na ebi so yin se no otum got na a public place. I don't say about it.
Some no.
I know wa baby awo entum of enam ho kra na do so ono got na no wa gidam from na gunum. I don't say about it.
So no bi no. The hormonal changes na waba no ho no ada ebi won we diba na odipa no onyense na ondi bi ontumi ndi.
Okay.
So hormonal changes na oba body no ma waba.
No chede o ma star bi.
Inte no oats na de o make baka ho chefu akor na opa no o fine. Ebetum the fruits, all kinds of fruits. Bi wo wa e fruit ni bo bi wo ntumi di ti da abrobe na dide no kofo bebre pe nti sa no ndi mpa anya hwe ni na de ka
enya okwedu bi enya apple bi enya grapes.
Yes,
kakre
po no de pe ba be
di neti what's a pen so the yin se neti ama afrani mimpi no kala hey chef you utumbalato.
Oh, pay mama, oye nema bebre wo nipa ni body.
O me nwi supi. So you can also join us 0537158638 and we're looking at anemia during pregnancy. We've talked about what anemia in pregnancy is all about, what are the causes in pregnancy. We've also chatted about the symptoms of anemia in pregnancy. We've looked at all these areas. And then we look at the foods that help to fight anemia in pregnancy. Now, I want to ask Auntie, Anastasia, I mean, irrespective of all the things we've talked about the prevention in anemia and pregnancy, what are the things we need to do? What's the preventions? I always love the preventions than to wait for the symptoms to happen. How do we prevent anemia in pregnancy?
Prevention, to say, kwana ebe fada yenkenya anemia waba yenyim. One, dry food, dry food. Today obi wa obenku no etwumoko, tomatoes ka ho, anyon ka ho, hwen ka ho, no de moko ni dama, no de edi. Ofa na man ka ho.
Na so obesi o.
Ofa na man ka ho. Anu da mo onye ema opemfo. Na afi bana on edina anajo ebo ho ndidi ntam the whole day on ndidi ebisa no se comment dem na mo na endidi dam no abofra no moja no mo wo mu no no odri nyim nto otwu moja no edidi yo endidi o moja no na otwe na oda nyim nti se endidi ntam a ono so obeha o nti dam no ode yedidi ntam anapa sori na wani mpo nya wodempa fruit wo betum edibi dini na enu nsu anu so ababoa na se ndi ne damada anu aba adwin na ebi nso wodi ayoro
dam na shiro no
wori pa dem shiro nso onu na moja no ma moja no ko form mo odo sunsuma nso bo yem sunsuma nso
no mo tweno mo ntwa no shiro no omo moja no oba form na omen sunsum zubo yem na wa ma fe da yem na san man sunsum
asam no
ebei is ya for when you careful now say afi from am na be da margin da no che da menyo yed besi do pa on the da am fatal elewi bi sia awati no sia elewi bi je am fatal men say afra na Ghana for your property I want no Ghana for your property yes so Memfa them concert no ko kra wonje shiro niti na shiro no betu meja idea
ene ne ka na ekire no ade foforo a ondo onya sanokwa no da na obiskita botu nda tunenu
no chede bibia no ope bibi da tuwenu
what's the scent no
oye wonder ebi kra nsu otum de nsu gufom na scent no fufu ebe
so what the powder
ebe
powder nso nye powder onye eziban chemicals wo na better
na me say
so wo yem
na nyin so ya bibi o
asam papa asam ti shiro na ade no dey je prevent shiro wa wo je nkofom now finally before we join one akon one I would say and obetuma afre and be was a colleague be and baby so Madam Anastasia appear of Lekma Polyclinica or 0537158638 or number which my friend Cecilia can talk about Basane Labine Wonkwe anemia in pregnancy. We've been told that anemia in pregnancy is when a pregnant woman has low red blood cells or hormone levels, typically below 11 gram, or is a common condition affecting many pregnant women, especially in Ghana, where the causes are the iron deficiency, the most common, folate or vitamin B12 deficiency, malaria, sickle cell diseases, and chronic infections also. And the risk is preterm labor, low birth weight, maternal fatigue, poor health, and also increased risk of postpartum hemorrhage. All this are part of it. And also the symptoms of fatigue, weakness, pale skin, shortness of breath. So to prevent, she's talked about the preventions of anemia. I mean, iron and folate access supplement, balanced diet and rich iron, that's leafy greens, beans, fortified foods, regular antenatal checkups so that they can tell you what is addressing underlying causes, malaria and prevention, and stop eating the ayelo. And to say, obi anemia, yes, then you treat it. Is it treatable? Treatable pa. So be anemia. na ya check hemoglobin level na still obofoma wondura ya de man mo ono na ye blood transfusion so a ye de manipa no ena ye wo eduro bi a no odigu infusion ono so ye blood ni bi na da infuse nipa no so de mana obeye 5 times na ni moja no waba so we are anemic ewa moja tumutu because ahode na wo blood ni mu no fom nti abandam na moja no all of a sudden no ashase orba obi be ka de na mamu moja wo fom so yeda mo wa moja sentum moja ni wo fom a ahode no wo mu no ontum nyina nti no de o start there orba out so ewo moja anu ewa na bibie ha nya problem ni bi kura nti yesre apemfo no se enyema menti na fie bra hospital na yenhwe ya showa ade hia first any hemoglobin level no wo moja ne level no na hia nya wo moja level no oya you continue anya so ya ba ma edu ma etum anom ma wo moja no aba normal place ewa nkonya problem bia because severe anemia no ode nsam bebre no ode ba nti esre mo am wo fie na monyem na momba hospital no mesre momra hospital ne yenhwem yehwem yanyem hwe yenkase wache ne be show na ne mo bia wo bia no ye be boa na wonya moja na otumi awo afa ho afa wo ba yes
onyem one day kra kwatinenta today a miracle them check no hwe na kwatinenta oboboa friend and Danny Thompson. Oshina 1 year and 1 call at the end. I will say, yeah, no, sir, I will be beside you 3 minutes on Chilby, a vessel Jumedido, 3 minutes. If it's my friend 0537158638. If you have anything to ask Madam Anastasia Pia with regards to anemia in pregnancy, you can call her now. I want some explanation or contribution. 0537158638 is the numbers. We got just about 5 minutes to do this. If you call, please lower the volume on your TV set. Then you can put your question across. If you have any contribution, you have any question, you do it now. 0537158638. 0537158638. Is the numbers you can call us. Between my friends, CCR, or by no child, yeah, no between your friends, CCR, or my name of Phil, your tone, attend Naomi, Fifi line on 0537158638. And as we roll on, we got just 3 minutes to leave the set, and I will allow her to go back to Lekma Polyclinic. Now, Lekma Polyclinic, na sisi obi nyense na oya nemeka oba obejinska.
Oh, eba kita wo health insurance there any problem. Ni health insurance na mebi wo ho a de tua kakra. Asana wa show. Na nye de ba nso na ni health insurance. Ya ma nko ye be show.
Obesho.
Bi won health insurance ewu. Nti that day na onim no ya de scan. Ya de ko health insurance officer. Obey am that day now, obey Juma that day.
I see no chat happen for here Ghana for. From an over when we hear Ghana for, when in Africa, when we are in one. It's a news and 1 day crowd of court, no one help. And you send 2 days out of court. So beginners or no out of court, quite what and I would have found for because our friend in you mobile, that's young ambition. Also in the other on your feet. A boy, Abu, my very. You don't look like Madam Anastasia Pia. Come over to more. Let my polyclinic. Since I want to wash here now, I didn't look at you and say,
Pacho, yes, Repa, one would say, Nwa, a bit of your shaman, I didn't know about me show. It's what's in like my heart, Teshi. Eno ehun kakawina wonye mantene fie momodia na bra wo de wo bana wo se o mensesem emba e be twa scan na yanyim a ehona e be ma o book na ya twro bibia wom ne ya show ne ya ko check HB ana blood level no wo fom antam na be show ne ya mo wadro ya mo bibia ya kire okwan ya obefa so obedidi eduane pa obedi se ne obeye enoma bi wo hwani se wo ya e be kire ni nyina ama wo so ba fia wo se wani agi na wotena fie no wamba na later na oba na sasem si a afi no mo di blame maye na enya ti yesre wonyema ntena fie wo dia bra wo ye youth wo ya adult wo nya 40 years 50 years na wonyema bra ye be show Lekma Polyclinic. That's it.
Madam Anastasia Pia, MBN TV, Yadawasi, the Yetun Safra one Waba, him there next week Tuesday, you person one of you. Yeah, treat different topic. Show and have a wonderful time. We're going for a commercial break. When we return, we'll bring some few text messages that has come in, and then we have another big conversation coming on that has to do with the environment, especially the Galamsey. The tax on Galamsey is the next conversation we'll be having. Stay with us. All right, so you can give us a call 053-715-8638. My producer said I should hold to Madame Anastasia Apia for the next 5 minutes and say Obetumi Afre 053-715-8638. Your number so Obetumi Afre is here. Now on the night to train come on be tree wajane now will be episode bisano open church be and now say all contribution be Obetumi Afre is here. 053-715-8638. Otia Masunimo, Otia Onkoe. And 5 minutes of that phone in, and then right after that, Yebeko, I go for another big conversation. Now, Eddie Abenti, I will and baby a teen, you know, and a bit to my friend Ghana film, you know, MBN TV. You were both satellite and digital, the bitumen near business, between my friend. Na ya twetwe nkomo ya hwese ne betumi aboa ama wonso dwumadi a wodi no betumi aton woniama e bebo hu dewuro papa bi ana me ameti ya me di hu chia me bo dewuro zo ne me kire no as a Sanjay Enterprise I have phone papa fie unhia untompa nkoto phone and a bomba ko say ba Sanjay no onye Sanjay aneja ona wokono omuso muso asene. It also be boa. Orients are Samens Vital Herbal, and also Bempesa Bema, your Bema from Bema on American. Rakodi Bessiciano. As in the Sibia 053-715-8638. Air numbers. In 5 minutes, I'll let her go. We have a question. Or you can send your message to 053-715-8638. It's also a number. You can also send a message to us on the phone, and then we'll read it here. We earlier had a conversation with the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Honorable Linda Oklu, in the studios. Throw more light on what she does. But currently, is anemia in pregnancy. 053-715-8638. As a time no kwaka 4 minutes. Into one fret na okwa. Mengase ofre ene yamfo. Yama wakwenya no se ne be ya obetumi afre. Na we bi se wasem bi se bia anase wadwenchire bia no. Nso wodi atudwa ofre so no ma o TV no volume no aba form ya twetwe nkomo e wo phone no so nye TV no so. As a TV no so na ma feedbacks. 0537158638. And Chibia emre no be emre na ya sorry so. And Chibia ya be sorry so. It's about is anemia in pregnancy and the yaboboso and the anope. You share what you need to do to be able to hold it. You say anemia in pregnancy is when a woman has a low red blood cells, hemoglobin levels, typically 11 grams. And it's a common condition affecting many pregnant women, especially in GH, Ghana. And the causes include iron deficiency, which is most common.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Me pacho within the baby of Frefi.
Pacho me didn't send me clear. Me can free teach.
A queer fitashina. Question ben now one answer contribution ben or Madam Anastasia. I don't pay.
Person besides me, but me not see a me to be a car, my bread. Not me tasty. And the person be said, na and no so.
Okay. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yo, yeah, that's it. Madam Pacho, eba ne sana Bra Hospital no mo ye wo labs. Mo ye lab ye nhwehwe wo moja enimu. Ebi wo ho a wo moja na akofom, ane nti na ye wo sa. Ebi wo ho nso na yare bi wo ho. Na ne so ye wo sa. Nti se ka se eno moja no nko a ebi ananye eno. Nti wo ba hospital a no ba report a ebe mo ye lab bia no mo hu ade koport a ye wo sa. Nti se wotina fie sa na ka se ona ante kakra na wa abre na se ya enye moja nko ana etumidi saade no eba medase
Madam Yadasi of Frefi Teshi also between afre akaya be 2 minutes 0537158638 owasen bisebia na question bia banyo chat no obi ken lokumba ona no tawo bile banyo bile bia ne no short ntie nyope obatishi obe yebe sorry jumedi so until so between afre na we bisa a question and now became the account.
Yeah, Ghana for yempe screening and also say screening to say your health no baba ba hwehwe mu no yempe we say o me de menyare nti me ba hospital ba yede ehia pa yesre esa o ba hospital wo ba hwehwe me bia wo ho bia no bo yare bi wo ho a wonni to ba no ehuma wa entem na ne ya aswa no ama so wa ba na utina fie wo so me de menyare hwen yame one day pa na obeba no na afi de agensemu blood eyisa anemia no mema omo bre wo ho pa na omo anemia no edu 7 na ombewu
ba ma du 7 ya obeden
obewu 18 pa obewu
grafi mi
mema omo age bi no 87 otumi
hemoglobin no ba eba
7 otumiwu
eba 78 ah
otumiwu because
obeden
obewu
oh anti kan ye na
enukure because ema no ye de moja tembia moja fi ye ho ba na yakopon san de fofra him be ma moja bi emfi ne ho ba ni moja wi se onim
wale utie
onim nti wi
nya show some producer ba ho ara wale me head of
eduane di ama ni di enye
ho
mama di
choba ni njai
oh enye choba such
ebe
wo kwatena ba onum nsa no asan a report ebi de onum nsa no de sausage aka ho ebi num nsa nyoma bebre mo de frafra eba na sa omoja eba fama wonhu da ko ba ko pa be so mu na eye yare no eba kwa akwahwe na che se omoja na bebia edu no na ehu nti bi mtumu wu fam nti nya mema no po hia kasese ese o mbra mba check wo mu HB ane wo health
wow
no hia pa hia na afi so obi a oye oguso oye ne menses a onye meye no wo ye o menses wi a botuma no mojadro na wo de ashanan botuma no mojadro no dia
it's a member no some ba check your
member ne some me check sense be ma bi wo ho a onim ne health status at all even we send
so be which na acronym
we send a blood group mpa onim
ne profile
onim she
yeah some ba
member no mu
member member inya member some ne hospital ko check
o se no ho odi nti she nya no so
Zama me crash me. As I'm sorry set is in the watching call like my polyclinic.
Yeah, you radio by the show.
All right, so just by the by in 3 minutes we'll call off this segment and I will bring you another conversation. 0537158638 is the number. 0537158638 is the number. So men, if it drops to 7 or 8, then you are no say we are going, heaven knows where we are going, and we know we will.
Oh, yeah.
So don't let it get there.
Mm-hmm.
No. And no. It can't happen. No, it shouldn't. Mm-hmm. So we need to prevent it. So go do your checkups, know your BP, know your HB, know your profiling, know your blood groupings, and then you can pick it up from there. Know if you have any ailment, you know how to manage it. Sickness will come, but if you manage it, you will live as long as you want to live. It's about management. And that is what brings us to that speed. Auntie, you better see you. We wish you well. Have a good morning.
Thank you.
Right, so we go for a break. When we come back, I will bring you the snipes from the tax on Galamsey. And then we have a conversation with Mr. Benjamin Isia, environmentalist. Stay with us. that quick break, and also it's live on MBN TV and this morning focus, the national policy focus. We're looking forward to have another big conversation between time and now. But before we do that conversation, let's go to listen to issues that has to do with the vote buying thing. First, we'll look at the vote buying thing where there's a conversation that was thrown on it, pick a section from it. Then we'll go to tax for Galamsey. We look at that as well, and then we bounce back into the studios. As and when we get Benjamin in Shia, then we can have a conversation with him. But we want you to take a listen and then watch this videos and also share your thoughts with us on 0537 158638 is the number. 0537 158638 is the numbers. You can also join us. But Adam, I will now condemn the alleged vote buying by Baba Jamal. So let's start with Adam. And right after that, we go to the Galamsey expose.
What happened on Saturday was alien to the values of the NDC. This is not the NDC that some of us grew up to love and to join. Values of accountability, values of probity, values of transparency. These are the values that we know for the NDC. And that is why I'm not surprised that the entire party seems outraged at the open display and also the admission. We played some videos, and I will not sit here and say because some officials have said in every election there is vote buying. I don't buy that. I don't think that is the position of our party. We can be concerned about how over the years our elections are organized and candidates, including myself, how we have gone through these processes and payments that you have to make, whether it is transportation to delegates or what have you. But what happened on Saturday clearly is one that the NDC as a party is not happy about. And that is why we have seen those statements condemning it and calling for investigations. But I will not go into the details because as we speak, there is a 3-member committee investigating the matter. And tomorrow we are told they will present a report to FEC.
Tomorrow,
Tuesday.
Okay.
My caucus, the majority caucus, also has issued a statement condemning and actually calling for the cancellation of the elections. That is, party is made up of many structures.
Right.
We have the parliamentary caucus, and they are on many occasions, parliamentary caucus has made some calls that the party did not yield to. So the party as a body corporate set up a committee to investigate, and so the party is doing its part. The majority caucus, as the parliamentary wing of the party, also has stated the position via that press statement. The presidency recalled the Honorable Baba Jamal from his role as ambassador to Nigeria. And so, like I said, it is even possible that this morning, Council of Elders of the party can also issue a statement. There are different wings of the party. So, but I will choose to wait for the final report that the 3-member committee led by the Honorable Inusa Hussaini, the report that they will bring, whatever recommendations that they will give, we will choose to go by it.
All right, so those were Adam Agwena condemning the allegation of vote buying Baba Jamal. But let's go to the phone lines and then have a conversation with Mr. Benjamin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
It's good to have you. I believe that you woke up and then before you went to bed, you did watch or heard about the expose about tax for a Galamsey issue, and you've been a person that expert.
Please, you are not audible. You are not audible.
Is it better now? Is it okay now?
Yeah, it looks better.
It looks better now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that before we went to bed last night, we all saw what happens on all over the media and also on screens on social media that has to do with the Galamsey, which is this something that is not going to leave us as we speak now. The environment is being destroyed. Now people who are to protect us are rather giving people the license to destroy our ecosystem. What more can you say about this?
Thank you very much. I think generally in Ghana we've defined Galamsey to be unlicensed miners, and I think that has been the contextual definition of it in Ghana. But I think I look at it beyond unlicensed miners. I think that any form of sustainable mining in the ecosystem should be termed as Galamsey, whether these entities are licensed or not licensed. We're talking about sustainable mining practices. So any entity, whether it be a small scale, whether it be a corporate miner, whether it be an unlicensed entity that goes into this ecosystem to explore and exploit resources without using sustainable mining practices. I think that these entities are doing Galamsey practices, and I think they've been documented. The documentation with respect to how these unsustainable mining practices are causing our ecosystem. But to your question, whether we can resolve that, I think that yes, we can. Even though we can, there's a trend within the community. I believe that if we apply evidence-based solutions, we'll be able to resolve it in the medium term.
Resolving it in the medium term, and now that people who are supposed to protect us are giving people the licenses to destroy our vegetation, can Ghana break free from this grip of illegal mining?
Yes, so I think that the issue of sustainable mining practices within the ecosystem stems from philosophical or theoretical point of view. It also stems from a need-based point of view. It stems from certain materialistic culture that is inhabiting the population in Ghana. It also stems from some economic or macroeconomical point of view. And I think that thorough research in these areas will enable us to find better recommendations for policy formulation. For example, if you look at the macro economy, some of these gentlemen see what those in government or those in Accra are enjoying. So some will, without having employment or lack of employment, will venture into areas to also make money for survival. So unemployment has been identified as one of the major reasons why some of these guys go there. Others also go there because of vulnerable employment. And because of the vulnerability, they also go into these areas to ensure that they are able to at least make some revenues or make some income to be able to take care of households, because there are no decent jobs, even though it also not mining practice is not decent, but compared to the benefits they derive against the cost in these urban and rural areas, they will prefer the benefits than the cost of these activities. So we are going to see in Accra where they are not getting the jobs. They are not getting jobs in Accra, they are not jobs in Kumasi or any of the metropolis. They will move to these areas and make sure that they are able to survive. So the macroeconomic is a major concern. And most of these illegal mining areas are areas with higher inflationary figures. So if things are expensive there, if you don't know what to do is but food become very expensive. Anything I want to buy is become very expensive. I also mentioned to make sure that I'm able to make some income to take care of my family and also be able to sustain my livelihood. So macroeconomics, we need to look at it. Need to actually assess the critical issues or how our macroeconomics is impacting these rural and peri-urban areas. That is one. Now the second part also, as I mentioned, the cultural perspective, right? Within the cultural settings, there's this ownership of land. Most of these lands are alluvial or actual holders of the title of the land. So if the actual holders of the title of the land, they face and some of these mineral resources, someone comes from Accra and says that you are handing over these lands to a leaseholder, or we are giving it to someone to keep interest of it and ensure that they mine these resources against the traditional system, against the cultural side of these people. I think that the rules for government to hand over their land to people and pay them peanuts, they will go into it and then begin to dig for these minerals. So we need to look at the legal, cultural aspects of these whole illegal mining or sustainable mining practices within our ecosystem. I also mentioned philosophy. I think as a country, we are becoming too materialistic in modern day. Everyone wants to own a lot of resources, people want to have many assets, and because of the need for many assets, 20 billion, 30 billion, people are beginning to do sustainable practices with their ecosystem. Guess what? Mass these numbers of assets so that they say, oh, they're also wealthy. I think that philosophy needs to change. And we can do that through the usage of media, by showing certain content in the media to change the mindset towards resource ownership, especially asset ownership as a young person in Ghana. So philosophy is key. We need to tackle each of these factors, contributing factors of illegal mining, illegal, all of them, tackle them one by one. There was that I think that in the video game we will address. You also mentioned now those in power or those exposed or opportunity in the system also engaging themselves in it. I think that the law must work. That's where the country comes in. We must enforce the law so that any green person who is in government, any green person who is part of a political system or a political party, who based on their exposure to government, use this particular network to cause any harm on the environment, must face the law. We must implement reform the law to the matter so that any Ghanaian who minds of the settlement is dealt with under the laws of Ghana. But if he becomes that on equal justice or there's inequality in enforcing law where we think that this particular person belongs to my party or belongs to my government, and for that matter, we cannot deal with them compared to others who are not part of our increase a cyclical system where people also force for their party to come into government, and if the party comes into government, also go into the same procedure because they know their government always show them, and it continues to create a cyclical nature of causing environmental harm. I think when we apply the law evenly, equally, I think that we also go along and solve these issues. And I think it's a where, according to the story in that particular thief, some MCs and DCs are collecting. Those people should be sacked by now, right? Prior to investigation, we need to sack them or maybe indict them so that if the investigation comes and they are clean, we bring them back. The investigation says they are not, we sack them, even charge them or prosecute them so that they face the law.
Not sack them or prosecute them or make them face the law. But what role can organizations like your outfit, the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Exploitation, play in addressing these issues?
So the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy has contributed a lot recently in terms of contributing to the amendments of the Mineral and Mining Act 2003. We are part of those looking at some of the top-down approaches that is implemented over the years in terms of our legal and fiscal framework in the mining sector. We believe that licensing should be bottom up, where there should be participation or a participation system that involves the chiefs, that involves opinion leaders, that involves other stakeholders, major stakeholders in these communities in terms of granting licensing. And that should be the first year before we come to the second year within the original Body Council, and also comes to the last year at the central level. It shouldn't be the case that we need a military, the Mineral Commission just comes and says, we are giving you the license without sometimes consulting the indigenous people who hold alluvial titles. So we have contributed in terms of reviewing the Mining Act and ensuring that we get a new act that says interest and also dealing with this illegal concern. Secondly, we have also done some work with respect to how we apply mineral royalties effectively. One of the ways that we could use to address unemployment and vulnerable employment within some of these mining communities that also pushes people into illegal mining is how we apply the mineral royalties effectively. The mineral royalties have some portion that goes to the Mineral Development Fund, and that also goes to within the Mineral Development Fund framework, about 50% goes to Office of Administration of SUNAS for distribution to almost to traditional authority and district companies. We've done several work videos now to apply these resources. We realize that in other years they're not applying effectively, so their recommendations are pushing to them to ensure that these resources are used in creating the alternative source of livelihoods for these communities. We believe that if most of these youth get the right jobs, I think that they may not go into these crime scenes or these unhealthy practices. Because we also know the federal research conducted some of the illegal miners complain of their health because of the unhealthy nature or the healthy environment within which they operate. So, looking at the cost-benefit analysis from the rural perspective, pushing certain alternative income generation jobs will sway them from what they are doing into getting into these jobs. So, we push through the Mineral Development Fund, currently as we speak, we are still doing other work in that area, in looking at how we can resource Ghana Geological Survey, which falls under we benefit from the Mineral Development Fund. We are looking at mining development schemes within these communities. So those things are things as a center we can do. We only do more research and advocacy for sustainable mining practices. I think that there's another area we're touching on, land reclamation and also afforestation. It's something that we are looking within the framework of carbon benefit or carbon credit on the international stage. I think it is something that we are also pushing up on as part of our task this year. So as a center, we go to research and advocate and contribute to various policy discussions within this particular stage and within this particular area. And I think we've done so well over the years to changing a lot of narrative in these harmful ecosystem practices. We don't normally come to the media shout, but all research and policy briefs have been already given to the ministry, and most of the times they recommend us for activities.
No, but looking at the research and the things you've conducted and the work you've done so far, are there some strategies that Ghana can adopt in order to balance mining development and with environmental protection?
Yes, I think that we can look at community ownership of some of these. I think we wanted to do that in areas of cooperative mining. or community mining schemes, but implementation was very poorly done because we did not have the capacity in terms of the human resources to grasp how these minings were done at these areas. So we have this recommendation that we should have land banks for mining. In areas like Tanzania, they don't just mine anywhere. They have land banks or dedicated areas for mining, and they do so want to ensure and promote supervision and also ensure that there is sustainable mining practices. So we are also recommending that the country, not everywhere, we do know that resources are everywhere, but in terms of systematic sustainable mining policies or practices, we don't allow mining everywhere. We can't leave certain areas of region for mining so that we can allocate our resources, the human resources, to be able to police these miners to do the right thing. And we can only do so through the community ownership of the mining companies or the mining activities. And that is why we indicated earlier that we contributed or we are contributing to the review of the Mineral Mining Act, where we think that the licensing should be bottom-up licensing regime and not what we call the top-down approach that has been practiced within the federal tech. We need to look at that. So we think that we can adapt or maybe change something small with the Tanzania model and ensure that we also apply here and be able to do that to help sustain our environment. And through land reclamation, we can also do more afforestation. And recently, we also observed some mining activities in the river banks. And because of greed and lack of salvation, even by the assemblies and also the traditional authorities. If you're able to get the traditional authorities and assemblies involved in this licensing regime, I think that some of these practices will stop once and for all.
It's not about time for us as a nation. We've been grappling with this illegal mining. Is it not time for us to look at creating enough jobs in the mining sector in order to reduce the illegal mining?
I think that you are right in terms of creating the jobs, but we need to also create not only the decent jobs.
Decent jobs, right.
Look at the data. Unemployment is still around 80%. Youth unemployment is also around 30%. So most of these youths are not employed. They are not equipped with certain knowledge or skill to be able to be self-employed. So we need to look at it from that perspective that even as an essence, we must have our youth equipped with certain skills. So that those who may not be able to go to university can be self-employed or can engage in other activities that will give them some income so that they don't these vulnerabilities for them into putting certain pressures on the environment. I think that we need to do that. We will not be very intentional about creating jobs. I know that I hear job replacement and I hear particularly we created jobs in the health center. We've done is sometimes these are not actual job creation. They are just replacement. Because in the health center application, there are no go retirement. And we must be very intentional, especially manufacturing sector. In economic theory, right, sometimes if you take Louis' theory of new sector, if you take Rousseau's theory of things of growth, or the Solo's theory of production and capital, right, all these theories talk about how, as a country, we can focus on picking off from the traditional economy to a very industrial economy by creating manufacturing firms and reducing some import of certain commodities of resource. But we have not done that. We are still more dependent on most of the commodities we consume locally, and we are not creating the jobs, especially through the manufacturing sector and the industrial sector, for achieving. If you are able to create decent jobs, at least paying the $1,500 a month, we will be able to sway most of these youth in these mining areas into these jobs. But now that's how you are creating the jobs. You just need the good English and the straight English in the media with respect to global markets, but the actual job creation, we everyone is one country. I don't know how it is ended. If the government is starting something called unified economy, I don't know how it's going to end because the policy of the population depends on power. If your power is very expensive, your power sometimes not reliable, so if power is very expensive and not reliable, how then do Ghanaians get the jobs? They will prefer big China to bring in the commodities. And when you go to China to import these commodities, they are creating jobs for Chinese. So we need a very cross-sectorial policy that is using trade, energy, and trade, so that we have a centralized plan scheme that connects these sectors of these industries to be able to create a very sustainable economy in terms of manufacturing and industrialization. And we'll do that, we'll be able to stop it somewhat.
Now, stopping it, my final question before we take leave of you has to do with if you look at the video that has come out with the findings that has been done, would you say corruption has also contributed to the persistence of this illegal mining?
That is why I mentioned earlier, it has to be philosophy degree. I think these days, the modern Ghanaian, the modern politicians become very materialistic, needing certain words that sometimes do not make any sense, right? Amassing a lot of words for us. People want to create much money, resources for us. So it infuses into the narration of corruption. It takes a new culture that Ghana is adapting. And I think that we can only use the media to address some of these issues. And also use the law to also apprehend very greedy and very corrupt officials who use the office for their advantage. And I think that we need to look at it from that also perspective. It's corruption, but what's based into corruption is because of certain high greed levels and certain materiality society that come. And because they are very materiality, very greedy, it infuses into the practice of corruption to amass a lot of wealth. And so we use the media in other organizations, they use media to change society philosophy. Unfortunately for us, we are not creating that content in Ghana. For example, I'll tell people that people think America is superpower or has the perception of creating certain guns and other machinery because of their voice. We think that every Chinese knows how to play karate. Because of the movies we watch from China. So movies or content or films or media is a very strong tool to change the mindset of people. But unfortunately for us in Ghana, we are not using the media quite well. We use them for other activities that do not bring us development. If we would have used the media well, I think the issue of corruption will stop, and the issue of amassing unregulated materialistic wealth will also stop. If we're able to do that, it also continues these issues of illegal mining. Small one to better jobs or decent jobs are created for these youth who are employed in these areas.
Well, I was going to let you go, but this just dropped for me to ask that is it possible that we can look at our education system to help us combat galamsey? Is there something we can do with our education?
Very, very possible. And in media education, they go like that. I think that we need sometimes our education is not a value-based education. Those are the things we teach our kids. We teach them because we think that they just want to know it, right? But you know the knowledge. It shouldn't be a staging thing. I always have a problem with learning and staging. You see, when you do psychology, right, learning forms part of human nature. Everything learned becomes part of you. And that's why sociology or socialization plays a key role in what you become in the future, right? But most of the things we do in our education system is studying. So you study the thing, write an exam, expect an outcome from the exam, that is all. Most of the things we learn at the school level do not become part of us. They are very open. Like, we learn them for exam reasons. We learn them for short-term outcomes. I got an A, I got D, I got C. But from infancy, we're not very classical or learning, where anything you teach the child becomes part of the child. In other civilizations, children are taught not to litter, and they go without littering. In Ghana, you are taught not to litter. After school, you litter because you are taught to pass and errors. You are not taught so that the littering or the learning that is done becomes part of you. I think that the GES must begin to really look at our education equity and then ensure that the value is a learning thing and not a saving thing. If we can't learn thing, I think that it is going one way to solve some of these teething challenges. Because most of these environmental hazards that are being caused are because our education system has not taught us values, right? Or living with values. It has taught us to pass exams. And we think that as a pass exam, that is all. Sometimes they even taught you social studies, citizenship, or whatever. People have forgotten them because we are able to need that. You must get social studies in. And after that, that's all. But in Japan and other China and other regions, they teach you some basic things about the environment, and those things, because they infuse that as a learning process, it becomes part of them, and they are socialized throughout. So a Chinese lives in China, he feeds water, or she feeds water, will never constantly have to water to prevent it to them. But the Ghanaian learns anything about water, knows everything about water, but if they need water and want to do something in the water, or want to even do mining in the water, because we were taught to pass an exam and not taught to live with whatever we've been taught.
Would you say this Galamsey menace is really exposing the youth unemployment in our country?
It is. If you look at the European Commission has a framework called BPSIR framework, climate expression. And the key reasons for LMC or the global mining practices is unemployment and poverty. These are the key reasons. And if you take the GSS data, if you take the households, income and expenditure survey data, all these data are proving to find that areas of mining are mostly areas of poverty, are mostly areas of high unemployment. And if you are there, and there are issues of unemployment, they also take their assets and money and venture into areas and also they living for themselves. So there's a lot of data to support unemployment, poverty, equality, and also illegal mining also now mining. That's what we're doing.
Mr. Benjamin Nsia, I want to say a big thank you for joining us this morning again and looking at the devastating impact of Galamsey and how Ghana can break free from the grip of illegal mining. We're grateful, MD, and say thank you so much together with our viewers. While I've been talking, that's a lengthy conversation. Although it's short, but it's better with a lot of ideas. And how do we break free from this? Education, I think if we can tailor our education through environment for people to value the environment and the surroundings where they find it, it will curtail this menace of Galamsey. People will appreciate nature, because we don't appreciate nature, so we do anything to the nature God has given us.
We don't. My first comment is that the MC for Amansia Central should be sacked with immediate effect. Sacked.
You want to go and see the expose, and you know the painful thing, his cross his leg. MCR, give me that expose, his cross his leg. Oh, you in the phone call.
No, look, the thing is illegal. You can't say because you need money, you are taxing it. What does that mean? What we are saying
is giving people license to go and destroy.
You are giving people license to engage in illegality. The fact that the assembly needs money is not justification to engage or to accommodate, to accept, and to license illegality. I mean, he should be sacked. I'll be very much surprised if the president allows him to stay in office, because illegal mining is illegal. We are trying to fight the menace. Look, just last week we read that about 800,000 acres of land had been reclaimed, and we are clapping. We are celebrating the progress we are making, giving NIMOS all the motivation they need to fight the menace. And then you, who is supposed to be... I thought even fighting Galamsey was part of their KPIs. And you are here accepting... You are not taxing it So 3,000 cedi for Chamfan and then 30,000 Ghana cedi for excavators because assembly here. Is that the best way to fund the assembly's operations? I mean, he should be sacked immediately. If they allow this one, someone else will sit somewhere and say, oh, child trafficking. I mean, let's allow for it. So, take money from the people who buy the children.
Legalize is right.
I mean, let's not look. He should be sacked immediately. Yes, we need investigation. We need to know how much money had been accrued through this illegal act, what those monies were used for. But most importantly, the MC must be sacked immediately. Immediately.
0537158638 is the number. 0537158638 is the number. So you can also join us and let's have this conversation. Let's get interactive now. Let's get to hear your say. Have your say, my people. Have your say. 0537158638. Also, reach me afraid. You didn't come on the last one has to do with the devastating impact of Galamsey. Can Ghana break free from the grips of illegal mining?
Mr. Nsian was saying something.
Yeah.
He's making reference to the greed.
The greed.
Greed.
The greed.
Look, I think I said here before that
the greed.
The money that illegal mining will give you in a month, in 2 months, you don't expect to make that much if you are a mechanic or a carpenter or something like that. You work in the IT space because there's a lot of money there. But consider the risk involved in illegal mining to yourself, right? The chances of you dying are very high, to the environment, to future generations and all of that. So if you expect that you want to make the same amount of money you are making currently in Galamsey, if you go to learn a skill also, you will be disappointed. But think about the future. Think about sustainability. Let's put away the greed. And that is why I get so angry when politicians are acting with so much greed in their eyes. Because you don't set good example for people we are trying to help come out of some of these things. You know, you are an MP. You are involved in Galamsey. You are a minister. You are involved in Galamsey. You are a DC supporting Galamsey. You have excavator. You have Chamfans. People are working for you. Meanwhile, you are employed by the government. The state is paying you. So if you, who is a minister, if you who is the MC, you are engaging in this act, and the young men are seeing you, what signal are you selling to them? You see.
Well, tomorrow there's a big conversation we want to have as to whether Ghana's democracy is for sale. It's a conversation we'll have tomorrow, but you can join us now. Which means you have to train Komo and Anope. MCR, if you could give me the expose on this Galamsey.
Hey, people are doing things.
Never be said as fighting illegal mining, but rather extorting monies and creating problems.
In this documentary, we expose the coordinated extortion scheme, now an organized network involving district authorities, NADMO officials, and a district chief executive himself. A network stealing from the people, enabling illegal mining, and accelerating the environmental genocide unfolding across forests and river systems in the Amanse Central District of the Ashanti region.
They have actually also more or less evolved certain methods, certain technologies where they can combine all manner of metals and cause damage to the brain. They can cause damage to the kidneys. They can cause damage to the liver. They can cause damage to the lungs. They can cause damage to the gastrointestinal tract. And the eventual effect is that this patient may end up developing cancers.
If the president is so minded in fighting illegal mining, then it should start with his appointees. And by appointees, I always refer to the MMDCs, because many of them are neck deep in Galamsey corruption.
According to the Forestry Commission, 44 out of 288 forest reserves have been invaded and harmed. Beneath the crisis are acts of bribery and corruption, illegal payments, extortion, sanctioned by those elected and appointed to protect our resources. Our investigation began as whispers of an organized extortion scheme kept resurfacing, with stories shared quietly among miners who speak only in cautious tones. The fragmented accounts pointed towards a task force allegedly operating under the authority of the District Chief Executive of Amansia Central, Emmanuel Obeng Ajeman.
How much is 30 million? 3,000. Me, how much is me? Bra. One machine, you have 3,000. One machine, you have 3,000. Me, mopa me contract mu enko jabugo district wo. Me red. Me just red. Bona bi kama me o se na yanko na red ya na imam. De ko si aye na ye divide ye say. In say e nipa na tutu na ba wo so obebu awo de. Sen ye nka ya sempa. Ye nya ye decide say a month or so 2 million. Yeah. Me tia me de. So what dey? Aye ni mu say Odotobu ya de obi mfi akire ensa me ha ye bi. Any 2 weeks or any week go na red go so buy. Red ka kire ye say esuru wono na adwuma na sunu. Ayi national security for adwuma.
At his site, the extent of destruction is overwhelming. Forest reserves torn apart, farms buried under mud. Yet, he operates freely because he has paid to destroy the land.
Police too. Police for mo saving for aye nim say you am police for me look am. Banya police ni na be show red na nkasa na so wonsa o wi an do am for you na police e lead. Me say me kasi ase.
Na oni pa no me jan.
Oh, you 3,000 answer no mu jan no. Asa no say ache me bra pan you. Ono so sa onu e go bia machine say me machine for so
At Mile 9, one of the communities near the Koboro section of the Apaprama Forest Reserve, the sounds of these Shamfan machines are loud. We posed as new miners seeking guidance. These two illegal miners welcomed us with the frankness of people long accustomed with working outside the law.
I know that baby, I'll be at all for. Oh, no, Cassa. I said, I'm going to start here. My job, I can't be a bedroom. Say, oh, yeah, this house. The Acadia, the more the Acadia, only assembly for Thomas. I'll call for my children.
I didn't do no much.
On by home, the people were in house. Nema amino obi asunyo on traka mi en ha de wabontia no anso san jakob na kwa ekokotua etu anso so de obia mo heda ma se de o mo betaka obi se bia o mo begiska na se bia bisa
and tutia 3,000 na mutu kotua zen
3,000
purchase of one leg sticker for 3,000.
This offends 1,000 regulations and more, not only in terms of financial management within the country, in terms of approvals that need you to be engaged in a business endeavor like this, but it's and this is one of the things that I'm actually also interested in seeing the repercussions of this. Whether or not what you're going to find is that these are monies that are going into the assembly's coffers, or that the assembly itself has transformed itself into some agent that is just doing private business.
All right, so that was the expose. Iraq's Moz and his team are bringing out that hotline and that messages. 0537158638. Air numbers also good to me at your IP. Somewhere also a war name. If I galam say a record, Yensuan a Samberco Apomodine, a cocker share near airco, a war you screw farm. Wait a minute, actually in common. 0537158638. And then when I come to, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pacho. Dini baby of Frefi. Okay, Daniel Yentio. Yes, she had say. I will mea near say air cost of a sorty. Yamping and 5 years Brasso, which me a friend, and I also would see you will be car, which me neaka. No, Kwawo, or ya Jehikoni or Naka, Nibi Nia, no, a Wama, Rhino Travel. 0537158638 is the numbers. Give us a call. Let's get to hear you. And when I come back to you, want to fire, you get so pissed with some of the things happening in the country, and it's like nobody's happy.
It's a serious matter. If you listen to Erastus, he said that most MMDCs...
Good morning. Yeah, Joe Suminian, but you didn't Boga to say. Yeah, Joseph.
So therefore, the better walk I will be Kutuku, put I have one from one. A while ago, what is swap on the southwest? After I make a little swap, I think you can't do better than all one. I need to go to my country, you know. I need you know. Over our this is over the park. Or I will shout to the chapel. Because when you go through this, everybody will hear me. Because I'm saying to myself, once I get Coco from to me. Because Coco from me, because Coco from me, you see, you need to let them Coco. Okay, now we are looking at take a breath and no matter so bad so. What's the matter with you? I'm ready for that. I want to do the home no more. This is from the commander book and say, now to someone. The whole money was no matter than I go on and go on so. Then I only am before I have welcome the decision. Can I say, if I don't say, I go to I'm saying, Fana and you. I need to come to the thing. Open to ya. Cannot get you to do. Say, you I'm not there. Young can make it a man and for. I don't know. Only one year. Now, I put a whole 4 years and I don't know what I cannot do. And then you come out anybody. I don't tell you that.
All right. Yo, that's say, Boga. So, once we number any action, come on 0537158638 is the number. 0537158638 is the numbers. Let me get to hear you. 0537158638 is the numbers. Let me hear you. I mean, to pay. It's sad. Hello. Yeah. Good morning. But I see my bajo free. Okay, see my NTO.
Ghana, yeah, and you can so black. Now, because a cinema, my program is now the new one is NDC. Yeah, the NDC back now. Now, so in the NDC, when the leaders are more difficult, the sexual council. Then the one said the boss and abandon a shade, not to be already reading. Also, you need to go. I didn't know you said all part of my mama or my phone. Since you make a say, oh, you show up. Who said a regular? Me, I didn't know by the Bruce within the Bruce brother. And the only you know, Sabi, the teacher of one army, Jana, or many people who are you, or many people who are not it, or what is that for? So, the society of Moonlight, as you want to know, we keep trying to send it from ODC to say, I'm not my asshole into 1 year to and if they can say, oh, what is this? I'm not going to get don't they say, yeah, when you get say, let's get the guarantee, I don't know. Once NDC did so, any authorities, and when you are at the attitude, say, silence, I say, let's have a support. Who is that one here? Maybe not the DC or all over the world. We live in anything. I will apply the prayer, and so what for my worship. Now, somebody in the also said, oh, I don't hear. Papa, hey, yeah. Hey, Papa said, the people who go about it, not about any graphic.
Yate. Yes, we had that say, Yamen Council 0537158638 is the number, so you can call us now. Let's have a conversation. We've got some few more minutes. We'll be wrapping up. With me, our friends. Here, I was 0531588638 is the number, so I know trouble here. 0537158638. A bit to my friend, CCR. Numbers no good TV, no done. It's a bit to my friend. Now it's on common and the pay on MBN TV. The finest. Hello, good morning. It wants to be to my friend, my Anton CCR. Yeah, you were saying something before the caller came in.
Yes. So I was saying that appointees who have, just as the last caller was saying, who have been employed, they are being paid by the government. And then these same people will be engaging in illegal mining. How do we tell...
Okay, to me.
I mean, how do we tell the young people that don't engage in this one? How do we tell young people that go and learn a skill or go to school? It is better. When we ourselves, even after the school, we are engaging in some of these things. I've mentioned here before that in the community where I live, my parents live. You know, so when I say I'm going home, I go there. It's a Galamsey community. And Mr. L, all the young guys have stopped schooling.
They are doing Galamsey.
And they are doing Galamsey. Most of the young ladies have gotten pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes, Mr. L. I am not lying on national TV.
Oh my goodness.
They have gotten pregnant. Most of them by Galamseyers. Some of whom were not even from those communities, so they ran away. So it was a constant struggle on me to make sure that my siblings, my sisters are in line. Because the influence is so bad so that we were by Galamseyers. The young men are not going to school. They are into Galamsey. No assurance of
also one of these days, I need to get a Miracle to talk to us about his experience on the Galamsey.
It's a serious matter.
He's been there before, so tomorrow I'm going to arrange to have him to talk with me. On Galamsey tomorrow.
And you'll be amazed some of the things.
To find out his experience.
It's not just the effects of Galamsey on the environment. The social life, the community. Young girls are getting pregnant in Galamsey community.
It destroyed discipline. And
teenage pregnancy is high. The young men are not going to school. They are not learning the skills. They've dropped out. They are not doing. It's just the Galamsey. It is just what we get now. So what about the future? What about the health?
Greed has eaten into the youth as well.
Apart from the health part of it. Now, it's a Achim community, so we drink from the brim. The brim has been polluted. So, look, there are a lot of streams there, water bodies, but you can't drink from any of them because they've all been polluted.
They've all been polluted. 0537158638.
The
health aspect is also
the social aspect of it, and everything.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
About to say. My first Oba for the morning, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now one more with you. Okay, Auntie Mary and Chiewa. Yo, Yadasi.
Obviously, this scholar is not happy.
Obiane neha, Obiane ne movement.
But please, me pacho. Enye galamsey nkwa obi a wanko school enye galamsey nkwa na ebe ma ye ka sustainability a edwuma na a wo ye no edwuma ebetimi ache ebetimi akura omu ache nti usua hairdressing usua tailoring ene ma makeup si abe bosumi mienu miensa wetimi esua bibia obetimi dia bobre ye sustainable na galamsey na wo ye no wankasa wabusa ho se wo health wa pomuden ekwan ben so na galamsey no ekutia wa pomuden nsuo na wo no ukọ galamsey pit no so a ehọ na wo kọ no security ni safety what dreams an e ma nyina ho enti enye ohia nti na ma wo ye galamsey.
Let me hold you on. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Oh, he also be bonity.
The call also Cassino, Madame, Overcome after 13 years. What did you hear from the lady? Obey the minimum could now be at one. I don't say, can say for about nobody in the man, Palamala with the Jao, and we check and see. Come on, I could find each other and to be precise. The same person can say, you say, we can be saying, Boca, we can say. Anytime you put this on the Boca, I'm the Betty.
Oh, okay.
Go on, Cassie, and we will be. Tell Mamma, the travel. Behind the same country, no matter what you give young the family. What is it? I'm saying, and you have no mind in a petrol, a woman is carrying on campaign. And you don't on the two, and you want to be our baby and what I'm saying so. Young men doing now, let's be near this.
Yes, yeah, does say interestingly.
Yeah.
You know, I have this write-ups I did with the issue of Galamsey that looks at not just the devastating of our ecosystem, health, agriculture.
Agriculture.
Yeah.
Mr. L, I used to go to the farm at Chebia Kwedum. I'm mentioning the location. That is where my parents live. Look, we used to go through some cocoa farms to get to my mom's farm. They have destroyed all those farms. And today, you can't use that land for anything because they've used the land for Galamsey. So when I saw we have lived in the communities where Galamsey is being done, and we are talking about the consequences, and you are there saying because you are poor. So because you are poor, we should destroy the environment. Because you are poor, we should.
No, you don't have to get a banter with her.
No, we have to call them out.
No, the point is
not because you are poor. If you are poor, if you have not gone to school, learn a skill. What about that?
Learn a skill. What about that? We got some few more. Maybe we can do one more call, then we can start wrapping up. But let me read my text message from. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
But you didn't baby off Refi. Nyame adomo, Mr. Mahoye. Okay. Wow.
Because you come up for, yeah, which is a be careful to 2017. And I have a legal bracket on the other. And I was only a letter about I did not compensate. I think it will. And she had kind of put in the come up for. You come on here and before that's our original minister will not come and I will be the party. And they say, you know, and you're going to say here, and then yes, yeah, but and then I know. It's a good plan, and they say it's not never here. So, and then you get a car. But do the opportunity and then you get a car for your demonstration. But then we are going to come up with, you know, yes, you know, behind the national, a common queer. Maybe two cool, you can cover them with everything there. Because you never cut it, but a thing that I will see, could you have a car, we need to break. And then I was ready and but. You see, that this is a lot of invention. I don't think can you but anyone here give a
Yes, yeah, Darcy, 20 seconds we need to start going.
Yes, so Mr. L,
yes, sir.
To this cocoa issue, I have just read a communique from the Minister for Government Communications that the President has called for an emergency cabinet meeting to discuss the way forward with this whole cocoa board and cocoa issue. So we look forward to some good outcome. But I please, one could square no interest in Galamsey. Kusia Juma, Kusia makeup here, Kusia manicure, pedicure, Kusia tribo, fashion design. Now also it will be sustainable than say Okoya Galamsey. Nziga honey you two Galamsey na good na sadie na baby. Right.
You two Galamsey na good na sadie na obesa ayebium. That's a question now this coming. The president has called for emergency cabinet meeting today. That was a meeting you heard the Greater Accra Regional Minister was also going in there to address a worsening crisis in the Ghana's cocoa sector. The meeting was announced, and also East Legon overpass structure only temporary. Ayawaso West MC clarify, and Aboboya operations remain illegal at Maliba. So this is where to say a big thank you to everybody that has supported us in any way, from all our guests that came through and those via phone. We're grateful to all of you, to our viewers, to our callers, to our texters. We say, may the good Lord bless us all. Till we meet again, same time, same station, same dial, same channel. This is MBN TV. My name is El Samuels, and his name is
Bernard Agbemo Eduji.
And when you stop to say a prayer, say one for us. But don't forget to always say a prayer with every heartbeat. Have a good morning.